We chew the fat and give you our gut reactions on all things pop culture, film, TV, and theatre. We talk to legends in the creative industry and those on the rise. We game old school. We do all this and a whole lot more. Like, subscribe, get involved. Join Larstein, Anthony Nielsen, and the Outcast Creative.
Well, can you believe I started this channel in July of 2020? Wasn't really sure what I was doing. Had an idea of what I wanted it to be. I started this direction of the channel. I had stuff uploaded before that. And now I'm at 3,000 subscribers. Largely thanks to the support of people online spreading the word. But also a number of YouTubers who I've collaborated with. I've been on their channel. Some of them have been on my channel. I must also give a special shout out to the Critical Drinker, because he was key in kind of encouraging me in the early days and has been consistently supportive ever since. The meat of the channel, of course, is the industry interviews, of which I'm about to do number 50. Can you believe that? Number 50 is happening tomorrow at an unusual time of midday UK time. And that is because we are interviewing Malaysian film director Adrian Tay, who's just done Malbat Mission Bakara, which is another film about the Black Hawk Down incident. And due to the time difference, that is the time that best suits him. Now, one of the reasons we're a little bit late coming on is because there were far more guests that turned up than I was expecting to start with. So before I bring them in, I'm just going to go through a few things in the chat. Brendan popped in earlier to say congrats on 3 subs. Thank you very much. Keith E, who's a legend on many channels. In fact, he seems to pop up on like 20 channels simultaneously. I think he's got like a back cave with about 40 monitors and a huge keyboard and an army of minions. But he sent me a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you, Keith. That's awesome. Northern Bastard, who may or may not pop on later. I'm glad you did it, man. Thank you very much. If he does pop on, I'd be interested to see if he's wearing his suit. CLS Studio. I'm tired and it's not even night yet. I'm wide awake, mate. It's but I normally go to bed at 4 o'clock, so it's like the middle of the day for me. Dempsey, Drunken Poet. Here we go. Thank you very much. The Gourd King, who definitely isn't the actor Michael Cera. Definitely not. He popped in, say, 3,000. Vex Electronica, the collector of dead cats. Got a fantastic channel of our own. Also popping in. And then we've got Getting Nerds here. Melvin, who's a very nice chap. Jamalama, gotta love that name. Jacob Ironside, congrats on the 3K Lance. No relation to Michael Ironside, I have already checked. Gourd King is poorly. So see, what I've done is I'm slowly getting better, and I've transferred my lurgy energy onto his pumpkin patch. So he's now feeling slightly poorly. Cannoli's here. I think he might pop in a little bit. Diabolical Souls, etc. Right, so I've got no less than 5 guests waiting, which is nice. First of all, I'm going to bring in my awesome co-host, who was my co-host on my last, I think on my one year anniversary stream. That's the wonderful, extremely talented, very affable and super lovely Retro Nerd Girl.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
I see you've done about 40 streams this week.
Yes. We
like,
gotta keep going, gotta keep working.
You were doing Journey to the Center of the Earth last night.
Oh, yes. Wonderful film.
So one of the things I want to do is just talk a little bit about the history of the channel and how the channel started was initially it was really an outlet. I mean, it was my YouTube account, basically, but it was an outlet for the Outcast Creative, which was our acting class that got shut down in lockdown to show their talents on live streams where we did actual performances of scripts, and we did these performances in quite an extravagant way, it has to be said. And I don't know, this is all before I met all of you, so most people probably have not seen them. But if you go way down on my playlist, there's the industry interviews section that's, you know, very popular. You'll see here we've got the persecution, the trial of Colin Stagg, 13 seconds in Kent State, and Henry's War. So Henry's War is a play of Shakespeare online, Henry V. The Trial of Colin Stagg is a 5-part TV drama that we decided to stage online via Zoom. And it's the true story of a guy who was persecuted wrongly by the police for a crime that he did not commit and was later exonerated of. Terrible tale. Got this very kind of spooky. Can you hear the sound, Retro?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It opens with this very spooky music. We had all these kind of titles, and this was our first live stream. And then when we cut to characters talking, they're all on screen and they're all in costume. So this is the police investigation team celebrating, because this is part 5. Actually, this is part 5 of so 4 other parts before this, and then there's a Q&A at the end. And this is them celebrating getting Stagg into court, and then when he gets in court, it all goes wrong. This is the actor Luke who played Colin Stagg, who was absolutely phenomenal performance. And so when he's like talking with his lawyer and stuff, this is Rez Kempton, another member of the Outcast Creative who's based in Los Angeles, who played like Colin's lawyer. And as you can see, we had backgrounds for all the scenes. So this is at the height of lockdown. So we really pushed what you could do with Zoom and kind of do an online live play to the absolute limit. Then when we did the next production, which was 13 Seconds in Kent State, well, the next one I directed, the Shakespeare one I didn't direct. That was Toby that directed that. With 13 Seconds in Kent State, which by now we were very sort of up to date with the technology. Oh, this is the thank you video. And this was all the cast that worked on it. So that's actually the song that plays on this video is from Uncommon Valor. So if you're a fan of that movie, because this is set during the Vietnam War, you might want to watch this. So this was also 5 parts, and we had a cast of 40 actors from all over the world in this one, and there's also interviews with them. And then we also had some of the people who were actually at Kent State during the shootings come on and talk to us. But this whole production was all about the court case. It was not mainly set on the day itself. We flashed back to the day, but it was all about the court case that followed. So that's Kenny playing the lawyer. This is Michael, who played the lawyer for the defense. This is the governor of Ohio. So these are the different witnesses, and it was all done and it was all performed live. That's really important. It was all performed live. So these actors couldn't make any mistakes when they were doing this because people were watching live. There was no second take. So it's like walking on stage and you've got one take to get it right. Retro, have you ever seen any of this stuff of ours?
No.
Yeah. So these are all the different witnesses. Ash not quite managing to completely disguise his bedroom there. But that's how the channel started. And then, of course, at the end of lockdown, it kind of became redundant after these productions. So I thought, what am I going to do with it now? And that's when, by this time, I was friends with the Critical Drinker and saw what he was doing. And I didn't really want to do the same thing, but I did want to make a bit of a splash. And I thought, well, why don't I interview people in the industry? And the first person that we interviewed was Jason Fleming. And this is that interview here. And we had Mauler and the Critical Drinker on as our guest co-host. Suzette, who at the time ran Outcast in Birmingham, and Dickon, who co-founded the Outcast with me. He's in the top middle there of our Brady Bunch picture. And being the gent that I was, I actually let Drinker ask the first question. And then it went from there. And there's a bit of history for everyone. Hope that wasn't too boring. And then, you know, started doing some reviews of films I love and that kind of thing. So after each guest came on, they seemed to tell more people about it and said I was a good interviewer, which I wasn't sure if I was. And that's how gradually the guests got bigger and bigger and bigger. So that led to people like First Assistant Director Dennis McGuire coming on the channel.
Hey, Lance.
Hey, Dennis.
A quick hello. Dennis, thanks for popping by just to celebrate.
No, I just happened to pick up your email. I was scrolling through my morning ritual and I saw it. And so I decided I better pop on and say hello because I had a great time doing your podcast a couple weeks ago.
Well, you were very welcome. And I know you're coming back for a second part. We got to sort out some dates and
Yeah, whenever you're available.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty available. I just gotta work out when to fit it in. For anyone who didn't see the interview with Dennis, you should definitely check it out. He's got 52 credits as either first AD or second unit director. He's also done a bit of producing for his sins. And we can do a quick scroll through some of your credits here. And you have worked on films like let's expand this list. This is just the top. If we go back to that, Dennis has worked on films like Uncommon Valor, Blue Thunder, Protocol with Goldie Hawn, The Karate Kid Part 2, which we talked about extensively, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, which we also talked about, Rambo 3. We didn't cover really Little Nikita at all. I quite like that movie.
Thank you. It was a great experience.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about. We'll get into that one when you come back because I would like to talk about that. We did cover Indiana Jones and Black Rain. We talked about Coupe de Ville a little bit. We talked about Misery a little bit. Didn't really cover Cuffs, Thunderheart and Patriot Games, which I think was your favorite film experience. And then you also had some great Sharon Stone stories from The Specialist. You worked on Evita with Madonna, who you said was great. The Postman, of course, Soldier, Angela's Ashes, that a friend of mine was in, and more. So there you go. What a amazing career.
Oh, yeah, incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Let me bring in my other people. So next, the man who's been co-hosting my regular Tuesday night slot with me and also banging out posters for me left, right, and center. It was Gooch. Only kidding. Not really. Enzo.
Hi, Enzo.
What's up, Retro? Hey, Mr. McGuire.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. I listened to your Dennis McGuire interview the other.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh,
Sharon Stone, man.
You may
yeah, what a handful. Just
you may have listened to
Couple handfuls.
our Dennis McGuire interview, but has everyone on YouTube?
No, I made this specifically for CLS. You can't hear it anyway.
Well,
there's no stream. There's no audio. Thank God.
If you want to see the Penzo, as you're not bad, man. It's all right.
Oh, thanks. I do a lot of karaoke. I was mostly testing out my new reverb plugin, but also CLS asked me to sing some Coldplay after our Blue Eye Samurai discussions on Jay's channel, Diabolical Souls, who we saw just for a brief time.
Yeah, I'll bring him in. I'll bring him in now. Here he is.
There he is. Yeah.
Hey, good.
Well, it's an honor for a Gooch to be with Dennis McGuire. Of all things,
too kind.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, Lance. I appreciate it. Congratulations again, bud.
No worries. I appreciate you all collaborating with me at different times. All these YouTubers have popped on. I've been on Retro's channel. I've been on your channel. Just depends. I think I've been on yours, haven't I?
Yeah, you popped in on on the few times that I've been streaming early enough. You've popped in on a few of them.
But I don't think I've been on Vex Electronica's channel yet. What are you doing here? Let's get rid of her quick. Okay.
No, bring her back.
I'm only teasing.
Hi, everyone.
Lovely to see you. I'm not seeing a dead
Vex.
cat on the bed, which is the norm.
Oh no, he's there. He's there. There you
Oh,
go.
there he is. Okay, yeah.
So cute.
101
Thank you for
years.
having me here. Congratulations on 3,000.
Well, got to get to 5 now. Next target and all that. But it is really hard. Getting to 3,000 took ages. A lot longer than I thought it was going to do.
Well, it
And I
seems
know
like
that-
just like a couple weeks ago, you hit 2,000 because you hit that milestone not too long ago.
That was at
Mhm.
the end of the summer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you've been on a very fast upward trajectory. So that's
yeah,
good.
I think it's fast. It took me like 4 years just to get to 3,000. So
There you go.
it was long.
4
It was long.
years.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and
longer.
you're a gorgeous woman, whereas I'm an old fogey.
It
so
was.
your-
I would
your
say even
increase
longer.
ratio should be faster.
Yeah, I would say even longer than that because it's a slow grind. But you've been able. I think it's your content that you have incredible content. Your interviews are
Mhm.
really in depth, and people really enjoy that deep dive into the industry. So you have an incredible channel. So
Mhm.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Well,
Yeah.
the interviews wouldn't happen without the likes of Dennis here.
Oh,
I'm internally grateful to all of my 49 guests to date. I think, Dennis, you were like number 47 or something. But we've got, and guest number 50 is tomorrow. So I've done 50 interviews since July
wow.
2022, which is great.
oh, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really excited about tomorrow's one. Nerdly UK, who's now getting nerds, and next week he's going to be Revenge of the Nerds.
Something else. Yeah.
Good to see you, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how is everybody?
A fellow Brit. I was starting to
Good.
feel a bit outnumbered by all these Canadians and Americans. And
Don't
We're
worry.
from
we'll
the
take
colony. We're part of your colonies, though, so
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel outnumbered.
that's
Yeah,
that's all right. You can keep
we'll
it.
take them back at some point.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, because you've got a civil war due real soon, so
Mhm.
we might have to come in and clean up the mess.
Get all that
talking-
fresh water while you can. There you go.
Talking of which, who's seen the trailer for that Civil War movie?
I did just a couple weeks ago now. It looks whatever. I like Alex Garland, though, so I'll check it out
Hmm.
for that. But other than
Right,
that,
well-
doesn't look particularly interesting.
Let me bring my last guest, who somehow managed to remove Whitey Bear from the green room. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but it must just be the power of his awesome hairiness. It's Cannoli Sasquatch. Good to have you on,
hi.
man.
Hello. Thank you. Congratulations, Lance. I'm glad I can be here with you and these lovely people. Finally made it to a land stream. I felt
Oh,
honored.
is this the first time you've been here?
I think it might be. You invite me, and then I'm always doing something on Sundays, and then I was like, nah, you know what? I made time. I made special time for you, Lance, for
Aw.
today. Just because
As
you're
you
such a
should.
special man.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean it's tough, and I've been on quite a few of your
Yes.
your Monday streams.
Yes.
And they're always great fun. But I always end up going to bed at like 5 in the morning.
It's
And
late.
I always say like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll only stay on for an hour, but I always have so much fun on them that I'm like, nah, might as well hang on till the end now. Because
Yeah.
you're doing Lord of the Rings tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're doing the Two Towers. It's part
I
one.
believe I shouted at you and Vex, I have to be on Lord of the Rings when you told me you were doing that. So I hope you got space.
We could add you in last minute, Lance. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings person. I know that you have a lot of lore, so I think
Mhm.
if Cannoli, since I do the booking anyways, yeah, you can come tomorrow, Lance.
I've got a lot of great stories connected to like going to see the film and all the stuff surrounding that. Plus,
Come join us then.
I went to the only screening at the time, it's happened since, of all 3 extended films And that was
Wow.
the very first screening of the extended Return of the King before the
Damn.
DVD Blu-ray thing came out.
They
Wow.
do that
And,
every year here or out at Alamo Draft House, and they have like 11 meals for you too. For like, and
Nice.
yeah,
people
you
were
read the
coming in
menu and
with
it's
pizza
all,
boxes
it's all
and
awesome. They have like tea and there's second breakfast and all this stuff. It's amazing.
Wow.
second breakfast should definitely be included with a trilogy, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Dennis, did you see the Lord of the Rings movies at the cinema, or were you busy working on various sets?
No, I actually went to the cinema to see him. I prefer going to the to actually see in the theater. You know, I get a lot of especially around award season. Being a member of the Directors Guild, we get all these DVDs, and now it's real popular just to give you a link on so you can watch it on your laptop or computer. Or if you're like you can put it on your TV and watch it. But
Right.
I still like going to the theater.
Yeah.
They're what I call event movies.
Right.
I think like event movies, you know, if you like the subject matter, whatever that may be it an early Star Wars film or you know, Independence Day, I'd call that an event movie. Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Always want to see those on the big screen. We've got 24 people watching. This is pretty cool, man. That must be because they've heard Uninspired Reviewer is here.
Oh,
hey.
Well. Good evening, everyone.
You have completed our Brady Bunch setup. We all need
There
to
it
do this
is.
thing now where we're like this.
You're dating yourself, Lance, with the Brady Bunch.
I'm showing my
I think
age.
the house is for sale again.
The what?
Oh wow, the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch house, you know, it was redone and put back to its original. The interior, you know, the interior was a set, but the exterior was actually in Sherman Oaks, I believe it is, or in the valley there in Los Angeles. But it was redone, the interior, to make it look like the actual house, and then it was sold, and I think it was sold again recently or up for sale.
Wow.
In the early seasons, I'm pretty sure that the exterior set, which always seemed to be like the side of the house where the boat was parked or whatever, that always
Right.
felt like it was inside a studio to me.
Right,
Maybe
the backyard, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Astro.
Yeah.
The AstroTurf. Yeah, the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Yep.
they kind of went outside a bit earlier. Who used to watch that when it first came out? I know Vex is a given, obviously.
Yeah,
no.
the age gave it away.
Yeah.
I did like the two 90s movies though. They were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the one.
Oh yeah, they were great.
The first one was the one that had all the cameos in it.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
a lot of the original
was all-
cast, and then they had the monkeys judging the competition.
Yep.
Yeah, back when being meta was like a novel thing.
Well, the casting was just incredible. Shelley Long, oh my goodness, she was
Yeah, she was
fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah, I loved
So,
it.
Uninspired, you're the youngest
Yes.
here, being 12 years of age. Have
Yeah,
you?
but how old is that in cat years?
Probably 100. That's
144,
why
yeah.
they call
Yeah.
me wise, man, for a reason.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen an original Brady Bunch episode?
Nope. I think that's more of an American thing because,
Right.
like to me, nope, at all.
Hmm.
I've only heard of it. I've never even seen a picture of what the Brady Bunch looks like.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Really?
No.
Nope, never.
Oh wow.
Well,
that's-
we're going to fix that for you right now. That's the kind of thing we do on the Outcast Creative channel. Let me get a picture up.
I was a Partridge Family viewer.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that like 20 years earlier, something?
No,
How old do you think he is, Lance?
maybe like 5 years, but not that much.
I'm Gandalf now. All of a sudden, Gooch
So-
never ages.
This is I don't know if this is what the original poster was like, but this is the original cast. It's a bit in weenie vision.
There you go.
Yeah.
But let's see if they've got some bigger pictures here. I mean, there's God knows how many pages of pictures. God damn.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of
I have a
episodes.
vague recollection that this lady was quite popular With,
Yeah.
She was a handful on set too.
A little bit.
Really?
yeah,
yeah.
she caused them lots of problems, and I
Yeah.
don't think she ended up having a very happy life, which seemed like a.
Oh no.
She was trying to embrace her sexuality on the set, and she
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, she was a.
What, was she boning everyone or something?
She was
Or
spreading her love to all the boxes. on the
Yeah,
screen.
apparently she lost her virginity on the set, and then she started just experimenting with
Oh
drugs.
my god.
Okay, we're going to say allegedly, and leave that there.
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly, yes.
So
yes.
this
Excuse
lady was in the remake. She had a cameo as a truck driver. I
Yeah.
remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful.
She was the
And-
hottest of the bunch.
Andy Davis, Barry Williams, Mike Lookinland, who was also in the Towering Inferno.
oh,
He's one of the two kids with
Mhm.
Paul Newman. Yeah, who have to climb down that kind of wonky rail with the lady who has the cat.
Right.
But this is the Brady Bunch.
I mean, it
and
doesn't
was
really
the-
look too interesting to me.
It what?
I said it doesn't look too interesting to me. It may be my age.
No,
Well,
you,
it wasn't really like I'll just say this.
Mm.
When it's really something that was playing a lot in up until about the 90s on television. So if you're in the bracket before the 90s, you would always see this in like total recycling. So you it was part of pop culture for like 30 years. So it was really really pretty cool. I know the pictures seem really lame, but the stories were really good. They were
Situational.
and they were definitely relatable for teenagers and kids growing up. So
well, like I was on the tail end of that in the 90s, and even then, like you could see a lot of the influences like trickle into a lot of the popular 90s and even early 2000s sitcoms. So
yeah.
I'd say it's still very culturally relevant. Even then, there's always a bunch of like any long running comedy series now has a Brady Bunch joke, at least a handful of them. So I think I think it still holds up after all these years.
Yeah.
I might check it out. I mean, like the oldest, how would I say, the oldest sitcom, well, yeah, type of sitcom that I used to watch is from 1990 when I was growing up, and it was this Australian thing called Around the Twist. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not a horror movie. So.
I would say give it a look. I mean, I know these pictures don't look really, they're really set in the 70s and inspired by the 60s. So I would give it a shot and see how you like it. Especially that beginning montage is super, super catchy and will have you singing by the end.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that the show was a hit, which I'm surprised no one's mentioned, is that because it was the first sort of big national television that actually portrayed a family that was dysfunctional in the sense that both parents were divorced.
Correct.
And the reason that it was popular with a lot of people was because divorced kids were like, oh, this is I can relate to this. You know, a lot of them had stepmothers and stepdads, some of whom weren't as cool as the stepmother and stepdad is in this show. But yeah, and I think as the show went on, it took on the tone of it became a little bit more serious, not hugely, but a little bit. But I know that the guy who played Mike Brady, Robert Reed, who sadly died quite young, was all he kind of got fed up with the show because he wanted them to tackle more serious issues and they wanted to keep it light and fluffy. So that was ultimately the reason that he left. Great. We did a Little House on the Prairie segue yesterday. That was on our Northern Limit Line review.
I do want to mention there, Lance. A lot of those characters or actors were on Love Boat as well. So as I continue watching Love Boat, I'm right up there with the Catholic boat for.
Yeah. I mean, if you go onto IMDb and you look at the people that have guest starred,
It's
it's
just
a huge number of
every 70s celebrity just had to be on the Love Boat. That was part of the attraction too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uninspired for the benefit of you, because you haven't even seen the opening titles.
This was already in my head. Let's do it.
This is what's known as the Brady Bunch square, and the cleaning lady gets to go in the middle.
Wait. I'm in the middle. Wait.
That all makes sense.
Yeah. So, did we lose Dennis?
Thank God, Vex is in the middle.
Well,
He said he had to go in the chat. So.
Oh, did he? Okay, all right, no problem. Well, look, if anybody needs to run at any time, I know Uninspired's pretty limited.
Yeah,
but
sure is.
I literally just came in from driving. I was supposed to shower and then go to the club. Basically,
I'm gonna go round each guest. Oh, damn it, it's in the other room. I'll go and get my Enzo Sand Timer of Doom.
What?
But I'm going to give you.
What does that mean?
It means
you're gonna find out, buddy.
It means you have limited time in which to speak.
Oh, it's for me. I get it. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I can keep it quick.
That's just the nickname for it. Oh, hang on a second. So what do I want to do?
I thought you were implying I invented the Sand Timer of Doom. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you kind of did, but not of your own volition.
Yeah.
So
you invented it for me. It's like my kryptonite.
I'm going to give each of you a minute, because this is the way I roll, man. Because this is just spiritually what I believe in, where YouTube is concerned, and Dark Hour arrives appropriately at the right time.
Dark Hour.
What did I arrive for? Hold on.
I'm going to give each of you a minute to talk about your own channel and give it a plug. So we're going to go ladies first. So Dark Hour, go for it.
Okay, sounds good. Do you really want me to go first, or?
Yeah. Go first.
Okay,
60 seconds goes now.
Okay, my channel's like many channels out there, but a little bit different. Has a little bit of my own humor in it, and I do a lot of movie reviews. I actually went back to reviewing fight scenes recently, and I'm going to be bringing a few other things in the near future. My own takes on bad productions, like things that went wrong with production, stuff like that. And of course, I have a bi-weekly show with this fella he's on my right in my my video, but I don't know if he's on my left on other people's. I can't tell. It goes backwards for me when I'm like
timing. And as you can see, the Sand Timer of Doom is now empty. So
huge.
Retro.
Mm-hmm.
Away you go.
Well, like my name, my channel is about retro things, and so I basically cover retro sci-fi movies. Is like sort of my sweet spot, and usually I cover a lot of movies I love. So I try to leave all the other stuff on the outskirts, but I also do watch parties, live streams on and with some modern takes on what's going on in the world as well. So I've got my fingers in a lot of different pots, but mostly in the retro pot.
Actually, I'm also going to ask each one of you as I go around and do this, how did we first meet? So I'll have to come back to Dark Hour at the end on that question. Retro.
Okay.
We met. First become aware of me and my channel, and how did we first meet?
We met through RM. Positive Fandom is the name of the channel, and we were doing a live I think we did 2 live streams where we covered award ceremonies last year, and so and so we just kept in touch, and somehow we just kept collaborating together, and I think that Lance has a wonderful channel. I've been a big supporter of it. So definitely super, super happy to see that you're growing so fast.
You just reminded me that RM is not on Twitter. And I sent out most of my invites on Twitter, so I think I neglected to send her one. So thank you for reminding me. So Vex, 1 minute about your channel, and then 30 seconds about how we first met. Away you go.
Sure. I make videos on movies and TV shows. It's usually whatever is hip and popular and fresh on the scene kind of deal. I'm playing the algorithm, I guess, a little bit. I have another channel where I just do game reviews and critiques and news as well. And then I am just one of those people that is basically on a stream on someone else's channel almost every day of the week. So
What, like this one?
Like this one, exactly. This is my Sunday stream now, but I'll be recording with someone else later today as well. That's about it. Nothing particularly exciting. I don't remember how we met, Lance. I'm gonna be honest with you.
We met on Cannoli's channel, I think.
Then how did Cannoli meet you?
Well, we're coming on to him.
He'll
He'll get to tell his. Don't jump ahead. But yeah, no, we met on Cannoli's channel because that was when I did that really. I can't remember what the movie was, but I was so knackered by the end. I said, "Why is there a dead cat on your bed?" And, yeah, so that was.
In fairness, there's always a cat which appears dead on her bed. So
yeah. Get in, nerds. I'm going to leave Cannoli for a bit. Get in, nerds. We're formerly Nerdly UK.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember now. I keep changing it because I'm trying to figure out where I sit. So I used to be a reaction channel up until very recently, and then the copyright gods have been hell. So I've decided to pull back from that, and I'm really reassessing what I'm going to be doing. So I'm hoping to do some original stories, maybe using some AI art to tell like a radio broadcast stories. Potentially, I'm looking at a few things.
We did at the beginning in a way, but maybe using the AI to make it even more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly that, and also it means that I can just do like radio recordings from people, so record people's voices and play them into like the old Sherlock Holmes serials from 1950s and things like that.
Ooh.
Hoping we can do something interesting, but I've got a ways to go before I can start doing anything like it properly. And I was your 996th subscriber because I know the Critical Drinker put out a note to say get Lance over 1,000. So I subscribed, and then I sent you a message saying, "Is there anything else I can do to help?" And the rest is history.
I think he's given me like 4 or 5 shout outs at different times, and every time there was a big bump, and I'd usually get little bumps off interviews and whatnot. But yeah, it's all been fab. Uninspired. I know you have to depart fairly soon for your 55th stream of the day. So
I'm actually going to the club, man.
Oh, you're going clubbing?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I demand you send me pictures on WhatsApp later when you're like proper out of it. So comedy pictures, please. But because when you do have to go, let me know because I can bring.
No worries, man.
But how did we first meet?
I honestly have no idea.
Well, that's all right. You can move on to talk about your channel then. You've got 60 seconds. There you go.
All right. Well, I'm glad we met anyways because it's cool. You're cool. And congrats on your 3K. And so, yeah, I'm the Uninspired Reviewer. I'm a cat. I review movies. I'm a cat in a suit. So I have that extra edge, I guess. And I do a lot of stuff. I do top 10 lists of personal stuff that I like. Movies, of course. I do analysis videos. Trying to do some retrospectives. And, of course, I do the occasional review of what's coming out recently and black and white films in general because fucking love cinema.
Great. Yes.
So
that's
pretty much it for me.
Good. Have you done Wonderful Life yet?
Oh, no, not yet. Actually, I don't think I'll do that. My next one is The Incredible Shrinking Man for black and white movies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and of course with the Dark Hour right next to me, I'm pointing at him, but you can't see me, of course. We have 2 hosts, a live stream show that we do together on Saturdays. Yeah, we are the 2 hosts.
And actually, because you collaborate with both Dark Hour and Cannoli, who I swear are probably related, we need to do a blood test. And,
I'm not Italian at all. I have no Italian blood.
This looks so
Nobody's
similar,
perfect, man. I guess.
Yeah,
I think if you put a baseball cap on right now, it would be really, you look really
I don't
safe.
have one.
Uncanny. There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah. But uninspired. You've guested on both of these people's channels.
Oh yeah, love
Collab.
cannoli MMM. MMM was actually one of the first live streams I've ever been on. I think it was like the second live stream I had ever been on, and I had been talking to Cannoli and Vex and Whitey on Twitter for a while with Copa as well. And then the day that we finally met, it was really fun on the first MMM. So yeah, it's been going strong ever since.
Well, I know people have been wondering what you actually look like in real life, and I have found this photograph. There it is. So, in case anyone's wondering, the image on the left, of course,
pretty close.
Yeah.
Really,
And
all you have, I mean, if you want to know what he looks like, just go look up what Jedi Brooks looks like. It's the same dude. It's the same guy. One has an accent from France, the other one sounds like he's Canadian. That's the difference between the two.
Yeah, it's true. Back when I had dreadlocks, it was like a spitting image. Now it's just I have an afro now, so my hair grows very fast.
Nice.
Okay, your time is up, so I'm going to cannoli.
Yes.
Tell us about your channel quickly, and also how the name came about. I mean, other than you're a hairy Italian,
well, that's pretty basically it. But
okay.
Yeah. So the channel is we do a Monday show called Mischief Mayhem Movie with this lovely lady, of course, is my co-host here, Vex Electronica. White Bear and Copa, when he was ever done babysitting his own child, he'll be back. But we basically break down movies and just could discuss them. And then we also, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch and I, Friday nights also interview other content creators on the Cannoli Connection, and that's basically it for the channel right now. And then also how we met was through Copa, because he was a guest on your channel, and then we were doing a movie one day. He's like, Lance will be perfect, and then the love story.
Oh, Lance came on MMM. Yeah, that is how we met him. Yeah,
the love story continues, Lance. To this day.
Yeah, actually, and Copa, that was like pre-Copa baby days when he was.
Yeah, it was pre-Copa baby days. Yeah,
when he was available occasionally. Now it's kind of, you got to book him, at least 7 months in advance.
9 months now.
9 months. Yeah.
On the off chance there's another baby coming, got to book him 9 months in advance. So.
You never know.
A little bit more about your channel, quickly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it's basically just movie review channel for now, and then the interviewing other creators. Have some plans in the future to do some. I do some one-off streams on about certain video games, and just random stuff occasionally. But it's basically it. And the name came about because real quick, when I worked for a buddy of mine that used to be on my show, Whiskey Banger, I walked into the office for the first time, and he goes, "God, you're a big son of a bitch. What are you?" I go, "Italian." He goes, "Your nickname's Cannoli Sasquatch from now on." So I said, "There you go," and it just stuck.
That is pretty cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So Gooch / Diabolical Souls, never sure entirely what to call you. I don't really want to ask where the name Gooch comes from, so just tell us about your channel.
Do you want to ask?
I have the picture right here.
No, there's a picture.
No. Never ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Whilst this is not a PG channel, it's definitely like 15. It's not an 18. I can sense Retro's already distressed, so
it's all good. It's all good. Diabolical Souls Presents. I used to have a channel, a different name that I will not mention. I started getting really serious about, I would say, the summer, doing interviews with content creators. I focused on comic book creators and actors and other, artists. And it's kind of grown, and I'm having fun with it. And then I just met everyone here, and it's been nothing but a great time. I've never laughed so much in my life. I'm really enjoying it. Some really good people, all of you. And then how did I meet Lance? I think I was in the bathroom and I was in the stall, and it said, "For a good time, call," and it had a number there. And no, it was on Cannoli's channel.
Yeah, but Cannoli wrote that number on the board. Nothing to do with me.
It was Cannoli's foot underneath the stall. It was actually Cannoli's foot. You can tell because it was a size 19 shoe.
I made that joke because I'm not kidding. When I was 15, somebody actually did that, and we had all these weird people calling my parents' house. True story.
I should do that to my old job.
It was someone. It was someone from my school, and we actually kept one person on the phone to find out where they'd done it. And then me and my best friend Paul, we went down there with blank firing firearms and kicked in each door until we found the one, like we were on an episode of Starsky and Hutch.
Oh my
Wow.
I don't know what we thought we were doing.
See, this is the ability I have on my show. I can bring out these stories. This is the ability I have.
You'd get armed police out in 2 minutes if you did that these days.
I met Lance briefly on cannolis, and then Vex actually said you should come on the quiz show. And I came on and I had a blast on there. And then I had you on my show and I had an awesome interview there. That was a great interview, and it's been great times. I've been bouncing around and just having fun and just enjoying everyone's company and just having laughs. It's all about laughing. That's what I like, just to laugh and just have a good time with people and talk about the things we love, pop culture.
Well, I want to say before we lose anyone, because I know a couple of people have to go soon. Try and say this without getting too emotional. So one of the things I really love, in fact, the thing I love the most about running the channel, really the whole thing with subscribers and am I going to make 13.5 pence this month, all of that stuff. It's really I never really did this thinking I was going to make any money at it. I just thought it would be a really interesting outlet for it, but I didn't anticipate meeting and collaborating with such an eclectic different group of people, which would allow me to talk about films and TV shows that I really love. And that's what I love doing. I like talking about stuff that's good. There's lots of people that do reaction videos and all of that, and that stuff is all good. I watch them, but I didn't really have any interest in talking about why She-Hulk's rubbish for 60 minutes when I can just say it's rubbish in 5 seconds and move on to something that I want to talk about that's great. I'd rather plug films, mostly older films, of course, that I think are brilliant, and try and introduce people to new films. And I like introducing new films to my guests as well, like Northern Limit Line, which my 2 guests hadn't seen, and both of them were practically crying by the end of the movie. So, that's been a massive benefit. And for me, it's been, I suppose the words I'm looking for are emotionally uplifting, because the time that I took this channel this direction, my life outside of YouTube was a complete mess. Middle of my divorce and a whole load of other stuff going on, and this really gave me a focus. And the more of you that I met, the more I wanted to do it. The more I wanted to stream, the more people I wanted to meet. And I know that we don't all share the same views politically and things like that, but that's really not important to me. What's important is that we're connected by a love of great film and great television shows. And also, you're not allowed to come on my channel unless you have a sense of humor. So those 3 things are all really important. The last one, especially to get through life, I'm going to bring Tommy in, who's been waiting patiently. I didn't think I could bring in anyone else, but I thought, let me just
10's the max.
Yeah, 10. Oh, it's 10 the max.
We had 10 for the game, the game show stream as well.
Oh shit, yeah.
Which might I add?
Okay, sorry, man.
Is the entire losing team here now?
That one.
Guys, actually doing that movie quiz was a massive highlight. I'm going to do a summer one.
Nice.
So there's going to be one around sort of June, July, depending on whether I'm doing my play or not. And I am going to be doing my play again. And just again, before anyone goes, I haven't done a crowdfunder in a long time, and I said I would never do another one. But you're probably aware that the play that I did has been the number one, not the play itself, but the subject has been the number one news story in the UK for the past week. It's on the front page of all the newspapers. And this is the post office scandal. So all the sub postmasters have been saying to me, please do your play again. And we said, well, we won't do it again unless we can properly pay the actors. So I think tomorrow or the next day, we're launching a GoFundMe complete with a Lorenzo designed pie chart.
My name is Vincenzo.
It's not the one.
You guys can just call me Enzo. You guys can just call me Enzo. That's
your
my
Enzo.
name.
There you go. Anyway, so yeah, I would be most grateful to you all if you could give it a push and a plug for me.
Wait, is that what Enzo is short for this whole time?
Vincenzo, yeah.
I've known you for over a year, and I've just found this
Mamma
out.
mia.
Well, if you were Italian, you would know this.
You would just get it automatically.
Lorenzo is like Spanish for like Larry.
Well, I'm glad it's not just me that made that mistake.
Well, Lance, I would love to have you back on, and we can push that campaign on my channel. And
For sure. Right.
throw that out there,
Tim, I know you've got
happy to help.
He's gonna raise a lot of money.
No worries, man. Thanks for popping in, and
thanks for having me. Well
anytime
done.
You want me on your channel, just reach out, and if I'm available, I'm there, and I'm sure we'll get you back on again. And we need to have the winning team's going to come back for the summer quiz. And then we need to have a new team that's going up against them.
I'll volunteer to keep score this time.
English, you know,
I can volunteer to keep score this time, so nerdy girl can play.
No, I'm really bad at games. I will lose, but you can if you wanted to, because I'm not sure if I'll be available this summer.
By far, my favorite moment from the first one was when I got the right answer on the same question twice and still got no points for it. That was my favorite moment.
I said sarcasm. I'm
trying to squeeze out a tear. I'm trying to. I'm just.
You were on my team.
Give me a second.
My favorite part was when I got the answer right, and
another person in the chat, $5 super chat, Blue Collar Loser, who's a friend of many of the people on the panel currently. Love you, Lance. Scratch on the 3K. The number's only going to increase when I get on. I know you're a saint because you're helping out a special needs child. I don't quite know how to take that, but
is he talking about which one of us is he talking about?
I think he's talking about all of us.
It could be any of us.
Thank you very much for the $5. Enzo, would you send him the link so he's got it if he wants to pop on?
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to run.
Tim, thanks very much, man. See you soon.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck with everything, Tim.
Take care.
With knowing Blue Collar Loser,
we've lost our
symmetrical
look, but we've gone back to 9. Yeah, so there we go.
Knowing Blue Collar Loser, he's out doing Uber stuff now. So he usually listens to streams on like
still
weekends when he's doing that. Oh, I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite streams with me and Enzo. And like trying to decipher how he ended up, how Blue Collar Loser ended up in a cornfield somewhere.
He got Mothmaned somewhere in New York. And it was the day. Yeah, and it was the day that Treat Williams died.
Could you explain what being Mothmaned means? I have seen the Mothman.
So what happens is Mothmaned in this situation is where you're driving somewhere and then you wake up somewhere far away. Like a few minutes later, you're like hours away.
I thought that was like an alien kidnap type.
It's the same thing. It's Mothman's. It's the same thing.
Basically, we think that he fell asleep behind the wheel and miraculously didn't die. Is what actually happened.
I was in Vegas at that time too. I remember I was streaming. Yeah. That's when I met Jay as well. That was the day I met Jay. We were on the stream together. Then I left that stream and went to your stream, and you were like in the middle of talking about that, and I was like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about? What about a cornfield and a Mothman?" And they were like,
"Blue collar."
So, Dark Out. Before I come on to Tomby and let him introduce himself, and 27 people watching. It's like, how come I've got so many people watching today? That's must be because I've got so many wonderful guests. That's Vex's elite fan club of 15 of those. So
I can put on a tank top and maybe boost it up to 40.
Don't tempt us with a good time.
Simmer down now. Simmer down.
It's
cold up there. It's cold.
Congrats, Lance, on the
She's indoors. I mean, it's not like
R2. Let me know if you want to come on, man. I think somebody here, is connected with you guys, if I remember rightly. It's a Dark Out. I think so, yeah. Remind us all, in fact.
So you and me met backstage on one of Drinker's streams, but that really wasn't how we got to know each other. That was just a brief moment. Like, that was like we talked for like not even 30 seconds. What really got you and me close was when you were really close to monetizing your channel, you put out your tweet. And I basically, at my job, I throttled the fuck out of their bandwidth. I turned on multiple computers, opened all these windows, and I had like 30 of his videos going at once, just boost all of his hours. And I kept giving him updates like, okay, you should be up by about 70 hours now. You should be up by about and that was when me and Lance really started to get to know each other. And then, you know, we started streaming together on various things, and rest is history. And he's muted, so
guys, we've got a couple of spammers.
Yeah,
in
but
the chat.
there's another one there coming up.
There's another one. Can I mod a few people?
Sure.
Yeah,
by all means.
How do I do that? I click on your name. Right?
So if we're in the chat, so I'll go in and
Three
you click
dots.
there, you click our name, and then you could set to moderator.
Yeah, hang on. I need to.
Hey, I will say this. This just
It's
means
already
that
handled,
making
Lance. It's already handled.
Okay, thank you.
It's not showing up because StreamYard doesn't edit out those.
But it's still in the YouTube channel chat.
It's in the
Yeah.
YouTube
Okay, now, well, I'm getting them right now.
Okay, gotcha.
I could do with a couple more mods anyway, to be honest. So
here, I'll jump in and
while
I'll
I've got some people here.
There you go.
I'm gonna turn.
There's a whole bunch, man. They're
wow,
like,
you're getting
this is like,
slammed.
Yeah.
What is?
Okay.
So I guess I've been targeted for some reason.
I mean, that's actually just means you're making it. That's all that means.
Yeah, that's
It's a
that's a
compliment.
sign
Yeah,
of success, isn't it? Sign of
So
success.
I have moderated Sarah, Gord King. I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah, you can throw me on there, and I'll start doing. I'll take care
and
of it.
I've moderated.
Here comes another one.
Bastard.
Wow, they're really. It's like playing a video game.
Yeah, you playing whack-a-mole right now?
Yes, it's really fun.
Another one. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I don't even understand where this is coming from. This doesn't make any sense. Like,
It's usually just one person can get a bunch of
one
bots
person.
and automate them to.
but I'm saying,
exactly.
like, what I'm saying is, like, why target this stream of all streams?
No,
That's
they
such
just
a
target
weird-
random people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just random.
well,
It's random as fuck.
Oh, I was thinking it was a compliment. So don't
Yeah.
don't put it down.
thank you.
Tommy, I just modded you as well. This is going to look like Mr. Brown's stream where there's like 40 moderators in the.
40.
You
Brownie has like 500
Yeah.
moderators at this point.
Yeah, you just want to pop into mine, Lance, and just everyone's just blue. Everyone's just blue.
Right.
Yeah. It
Well,
helps,
yeah.
it
I
helps
just,
to have as many moderators as possible.
well,
Ooh,
it's
Yeah,
another one.
there's actually like 8 different types of moderators, but the 2 main ones are managing moderators and
And then there's standard.
and the standard. Standard will
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
is just able to remove from chat.
I've
So-
just done blue collar. Actually, I think he's waiting to come in. Or he was. Hold on. Yeah, he is. There we go. Hey,
I'm sorry.
we're back to,
As soon as I join, this happens. What the hell?
Yeah, it's your fault.
yeah.
Oh,
Coincidence? You know,
oh my god!
Opening the floodgates.
Hey, it's,
yeah,
it's like Dark Hour said. Why are they targeting you for it? It's never.
It's just
Wow.
stupidity. It's just
Anybody.
moron. They probably
they see someone going live.
Yeah.
is it,
Dude, it's the internet, man.
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, are these real people or is this AI
No,
or what?
they're all
No, it's just a
automated.
bot.
It's
It's just a
one
bot.
guy.
It'll be
Hey.
one guy out there, and he's
Dark
just
Wolfie X.
these
I'm very
guys are
ashamed
live.
of you.
Yeah.
Damn, man, there's like a whole load of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, don't
guys,
worry.
there's a whole host of hammers now.
That's got, that's got a
Go
mod
get 'em.
thing. A mod invite things.
Bex, I was trying to find a comment from you.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You know, between all the
All the N words that are getting
Rennie's-
spammed.
oh, there we go. I got you, Bex. I got you. There we go.
I'll just
Okay,
keep
cool.
typing. I'll type here again, and then you can.
Oh my
No,
god!
I got it. Oh yeah. If you wanna, there we go.
Yeah, I'll help
very
out.
good.
The other thing as well that you can do to just protect yourself is just make the chat subscriber only.
Yeah. That helps.
That's the other way of doing it as well.
What right now?
Yeah, that's another way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do I do? How
You
do
gotta
I-
actually go to the
You have to
YouTube
edit.
settings.
yeah.
Yeah,
edit.
it's not something you'll really like. You have to actually go in and change.
Okay,
it.
Dark. I got you there.
I'm
So,
watching now.
All
yeah,
right.
Okay, there we go.
Interrupting my awesome story about how I watched.
Sorry, mate. So yeah, we met backstage at Drinkers.
450 hours of your stuff. But yeah, that was really what that part was really the part that got us to talking a lot more. Was I had you were within like a few hundred hours of monetizing, and I literally just pulled up like every one of your videos and just played them on my former employer's work internet for like 5-6 hours, which was equivalency to like 70 hours because there was so many of them playing. And
oh yeah,
and
yeah, because you got me over the watch hours.
Yeah,
thing.
because I had this I had like 2 double wide monitors, so I was able to put up like on each one of them like 12 of your videos, which hindsight really sucked because now I don't know what I've watched and what it just says I've watched, but was only running in the background. So like,
well,
when you're like,
you got to rewatch everything now. Dark Hour.
Yeah, like sometimes Lance will be like, oh, have you watched this particular one? And I'm like, it says I did, but I'm not sure if I actually watched it or not. Like,
yeah, always be careful if I ask you that question, because I always used to say to people, "So, did you watch my movie yet?" And they go, "Yeah." And if I thought they were bullshitting me, I'd say, "So, what did you think of the end scene with the helicopter?" And I'd let them talk about the helicopter for 10 minutes before I tell them there's no helicopter in the movie.
Yep.
That was always a fun one.
there's never been a helicopter. There's no such thing.
No, we wanted a helicopter shot, but unfortunately, the drones were not invented then when we shot the last part of the journey. I really wanted to do or they were just coming out, but we didn't have one, and that would have been a nice way to end that. Yeah. So then we've collabed quite a few times since then.
Yeah.
I must have just banned about like 20 people from my channel. This is a bit of a first.
You didn't ban
their bots.
Yeah, you didn't really ban a person. You banned a bunch of automated things.
I'm not sure what this comment is to do with
chat
Sassy,
slow
but
mode.
if you need a spare fake leg, apparently one's available for you. So,
They're saying putting the chat in slow mode is better than subscriber only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to put it subscriber only.
No, yeah, slow mode would also deal with that too.
Uninspired, you got to make a move, I think, because you got to go.
Uninspired.
I got a bust to move, basically.
Let me give you some advice here. If you meet a young lady tonight, don't tell her about your YouTube channel. Okay?
I never tell anyone in real life.
Wait a few months before you drop that bomb on a girl.
Whoa,
okay?
whoa! We'll talk about busting. Come on.
Oh yeah.
You just met the lady. Come on.
Today is my only sort of vacation day of the week, so I'm gonna go relax, and then probably not gonna get lucky. So, because I'm not
Go
gonna
get some cake. Go get some cake.
Dude, I've seen your magical dreads. Of course, you're gonna get lucky.
Well, I don't have them anymore. I've got an afro now.
Oh, okay.
That works too. You just got to find somebody who's interested in like blaxploitation films, and you'll be fine.
Well, I don't think that should be your first. I don't think that should be your opening line. Are you a fan of Shaft, the movie? I don't think that's ever. Not sure that's ever worked for anybody.
Yeah, just leave out the movie part.
Yeah. Are you interested in Shaft? Shaft.
They'll be like, excusez-moi. I'll be like, yeah, I've had
Be like,
French.
they'll be like, the show? No, not the show.
Well, listen, dude. Listen. I always love doing collabs with you, and we've chatted quite a bit offline as well. So I'm one of the people who's seen your real identity.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I just, again, I was quite surprised that you were only 12. But come across as so old.
It is amazing. Of the two people on our show, he's the more mature. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Just have him talk about women on a Sunday night, and that maturity goes out the window.
It's like my videos have all like the potty humor in it and stuff, and his is all like prim and proper. I'm like, it's the opposite of what it should be.
Listen, you get me talking about Sydney Sweeney, I'll become a child real quick.
Is it a big clubbing night in France on Sundays? What's up with this?
No, not at all. I'm just going because I want to get out of the house. That's pretty much it. Maybe there'll be people. Maybe there won't. If there aren't,
well, I'm gonna let you go because someone's trying to get in, man. So
all right, man, dude. Congrats on the 3K. You deserve every single subscriber and more. So congrats on the 1 million. I'll be the first to say that. So yeah. Hopefully 2024 you get at least 10, 15, 20, 30K. Million. Hopefully you surpass
five is the next target, but I'm not sure I'll ever reach Retro's outstanding levels, but we'll see.
Dude, I wish you all the best, and everyone on the panel, great seeing you all again, and of course everyone in the chat, fucking love you guys. I'm gonna go have fun, and gonna go have more fun. I'm already having fun here, so yeah.
So I think what blue collar means is subscribe to Uninspired Reviewer, not this kind of dominatrix like.
Wow.
All right. See you guys.
See you, buddy.
Okay,
See you later.
off the groove. Okay, you know, he's such a cool guy, man, and
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
and
Yeah.
he had a conversation with his dad about doing YouTube as a career, and his dad was convinced to give him a year, and yeah, and he had
really
a couple
good.
of hit videos, and
Yeah.
you know, it's making not like big money, but like enough to pay some bills and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've told him multiple times, like, I do not understand how your Dread video, like your video about a 10-year-old movie that was a financial flop, is somehow has like almost 1 million views. I'm like, I don't understand this. And I think more people
love
watched his
Dread.
video.
Like they will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think more people watched his video than actually went to go see it in theaters. It's the most incredible thing. It's one of the weirdest like phenomena I've ever seen.
Well, he's got a big teenage fan base, man. So you know
That's got to be it. Yeah,
That's
they
what it
hear
is,
the
the young
accent
people.
and it just makes them trip.
That's what it is. It's the accent.
do subscribe to Uninspired Reviewer. Tomby, thank you for popping that up.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So that neatly brings me to you, because you haven't got to introduce yourself yet and explain why you're Dark Hour and Cannoli's love child. So let's get into that story. No, tell us about your channel, mate, and how we first met.
Right. Okay. So Tommy Channel's just basically all about coding, tech, and basically playing games. So currently playing quite a few games, especially with some of the guys that are in your chat right now. So Steel Leg of History. I play games with the wife, Smooth the DJ. A lot of these names that you'll recognize in quite a few of the chats. Playing everything from MMORPGs to DPS games. But I'm also looking at doing quite a few tech streams. One of the guys from the channel has actually asked me to build one of his PCs. So I'm going to be building his PC live on stream for him, because he's currently on holiday in the States. So to get him involved in it, I'm going to be building his PC complete from scratch, all components, and basically taking everyone through building a PC all the way through to operating systems and everything in between.
I'm so pleased I've now got a Tomby 9000 PC app on my computer. That's good.
Oh, 100%. And how we met, that was the stroke of luck, purely at the F&T London meetup. So where we were sat was literally right on the back of where Drinker was meeting all of the people coming to the event.
Well,
so
I got roped into organising his queue for him because it was chaos, and you know,
and the easiest place for you to kind of like drop your drink and come and take a quick 5-minute breather was right on our table. So we took the opportunity, got to speak to you, talking about everything from films and the older films, and obviously as soon as you were like, "Oh, ex-armed forces as well. Oh, you've got some stories." And that was it. Rest was history, my friend.
I met some really cool people that night. I met Kung Fu Hot Dog for the first time, who's got a great channel, does really fun videos. And also, obviously, Nerdrotic and Disparu and the gang that all came over. Abe is one of your pals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So Abe was sat on our table. So we had Heel versus Babyface's brother-in-law, so that was Mr. Porkchop. He was on the table. Abe, we had Greg. We had basically a lot of Mr. Porkchop, who's as his brother-in-law. A lot of his basically his fan club. We all just met in London, sat at the table, and we just so happened to be in the right position at the right time. So we were talking to everybody coming past. It was actually a fantastic event. And everyone queued quite gracefully as Brits, to be honest.
Well, you weren't managing that queue, mate. I'm going to have to digress there a little bit. I had one guy who there was a couple of people that said, "Oh, can you give this to Will? I've got to leave now. I've got to get a train to Leeds or wherever." Like they come like huge distances. And anybody that came up to me and said that politely, I went, hang on a second. And I'd interrupt him and say, mate, can you just sign this thing for this guy? Because he's got to go. And so there were a few of those, and that was fine. But I had one guy who just sort of like, it was like 20, and he just came round the side and barged in. And I went, mate, what are you doing? And he said, what? And I said, you do see that queue there, right? Oh, have I got a queue up? And I said, yeah, like everyone else. You know, I mean, it was, I wasn't, Will really looked after me that night. We went out for a drink beforehand, just two of us. And then also he, at one point we both lost our voices, and he just went, oh, fuck this, let's go to the bar. And then this weird lady that kept following him around all the time and trying to get a snog, even though her boyfriend was there.
Yeah, I was going to say a boyfriend there.
Do you remember that?
That might have been his kink.
As Will went to pay, he went and whacked his credit card on the machine and didn't let him pay for the.
Jumped in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people have strange relationships, but anyway. So, but all things aside, met some really lovely people that night. Yeah. It was a good laugh, and I was more than happy to help out, because for someone who's plugged my channel no end of times, it's not a big ask, is it, to help them out when chaos reigns. So good stuff. We've got Rennie in the house.
Hey, Lance. I was like, what happened? I never received a link, so thank you, Dark Hour.
Sorry, I sent out a whole load like quite late last night, I think it was. But there are some people I missed. I know there's some people. I just remembered I hadn't sent our own one earlier, so I just emailed her during the stream. I forgot to send Jason Fleming one, and he's like my closest mate. So don't feel slighted.
Had it been anybody else, I would have assumed it was bullshit. But when it was Rennie, I was like, yeah, she probably legitimately was supposed to get one and didn't get one. So
I actually meant to drop the link into the Drinkers Mod chat, and I just think I forgot. So, because I've had a really busy day, been trying to set up a crowdfunding campaign.
I'll do it right now.
All of that stuff. So, are you talking about the pie chart?
Oh, never mind. No, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of a different chat. Sorry.
Just going to read out this super chat. Congratulations on the 3K, Lance. Looking forward to your upcoming industry interviews. Well, the next one is tomorrow. At 12 o'clock midday UK time. It's an unusual time, but it's because my guest is in Malaysia, and he's a film director, and one of the hottest film directors in Malaysia right now, actually, as I've discovered doing my research. He hasn't stopped working in the last 5 years. He's gone from one project to the other, and he's still really young and good looking. Damn you.
What to say, knowing Malaysia, he hasn't stopped working in the last 5 years, and he's only 12. So it's
that's uninspired reviewer. This is 13. This is Adrian Tay, who's coming on.
Wow.
Okay. Realistically, he could have started directing at 12.
What is he, 14?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So he's coming on tomorrow, and he's directed a good number of movies already. A couple of them are really big action pictures. So in fact, when I come off this stream, I'm going to try and watch Pascal tonight, which I haven't seen yet, which is the true story of the Malaysian Navy SEALs.
Wow.
So that'll be an interesting one to check out. And then the film that I'm mostly going to be talking to him about is Malbat Mission Bakara, which is about the Malaysian combat team that went in to rescue the American Rangers in the Black Hawk Down incident and brought them out. And it's like somebody said to me, oh, I thought they just drove into town, picked them up and drove out again. And I'm like, well, yeah. And, one of them got an RPG to the head, and two of the trucks got lost, and about 19 people were injured. But yeah, they went in and they came out again. So it's a part of the battle that has never really been looked at. Wow. And this film is now available on Netflix. You can watch it. It's not got the budget of Black Hawk Down. There's a couple of CGI bits that are like, okay, that's a CGI shot, but I still think it's a really good, gripping movie.
So,
interesting.
I just learned from a friend of mine in the industry that Top Gun Maverick, a lot of the planes that were used were not the planes we saw in flight. And a lot of the planes were CGI'd, which I did not know because it looked pretty damn realistic to me. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, the really close flybys. You know, when you
like all of them, yeah, pretty much.
All the
they,
close flybys were either remote control planes or CGI enhanced.
Well, and it wasn't the same planes that you saw on screen. So they actually flew like cheaper planes and then CGI'd them to be the more expensive or the more up to date. I thought that was interesting.
Didn't they use F-22 Raptors in that movie?
Yes, and they did not actually use F-22s.
So 8 F-18 Hornets they used in it.
Well, considering the fact that an F-22 Raptor, I just had to double check this because I thought it was about this number, cost about anywhere between, depending on the model, anywhere between $63 and $350 million, depending on the model. I'm not shocked that they weren't using them.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm going to just move Diabolical Souls. There we go. Now, if you look at that middle row, this honestly could be some sort of mafia family. I think you four guys should do some kind of drama series about four brothers.
We can make that work.
You know.
Well, I think that's already in the talks. They can only
like the younger brother.
Yeah.
I was talking to my guy, Cannoli Sasquatch, and he was telling me that anybody shorter than him's got to get whacked. So
people gotta go.
So people gotta go, and he's like 6'19" or some shit like that.
Hey, we don't call it whacked anymore. Dark Hour. We don't call it dark. We don't call it whack.
You take care of that thing.
Yeah, that was like the 90s.
That thing, Jay.
Yeah. I was going for like an old school mafioso.
Did you take care of that thing? Yeah,
it was taken care of.
Thing?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
I worked for sanitation.
Well,
oh my gosh.
I know some of you have to go soon. So Rennie, I mean, you've only just arrived, and I know you got to jump on.
Well, you forgot to send me the link, and I didn't get the notification for your stream. So I was like, "Oh shit!"
I thought
today's the day.
I was just going through my Twitter thing, and I was putting it in every correspondence I had, and then I realized I'd put it in about 4 people that were nothing to do with YouTube. So after that, I started kind of slowing down a bit, but I think I just missed the.
He sent it to he sent it to a couple people he met in Soho one time. So
please tell me you didn't send it to any Tinder people. No,
no, I didn't. Tell me, or tell the panel before we lose anybody else. How did we first meet?
I think we met through the Drinkers Mod group, and then we just kind of started talking from there, and then we met up when you were in North Texas last, not summer of 2023, but summer of 2022. So I actually got to meet you in person, and we had a lot of fun, and we've just been kind of talking ever since. So there is that, and no regrets.
No regrets.
No,
like on that stupid commercial.
I never like having a regret. A regret is always good to have no regrets. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Be regurgitating.
Well, no, it was he might not have seen that commercial, Rennie. That was a commercial where the guy gets a tattoo, and it was a Snickers commercial. I remember it was
Snickers.
The tattoo artist was hungry, so instead of putting regrets, he put regrets.
Yeah.
So it was tattooed on the guy's arm. No regrets.
Okay. I guess you had to be there.
Yeah, it's a really cute commercial.
It was up at the time. Yeah.
It's not out in the UK at the moment.
This one is kind of an old one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old one.
I think so. It's a few years old.
Yeah.
They don't accept American sugar propaganda out there in the UK. That's the problem.
Haters, no. Well, that explains why they're healthier than us.
Because they have real chocolate in the UK.
True.
They got the real stuff in the China. Yeah.
Look, we take what we can get in the States.
Right.
Rennie, you missed out when we went for that awesome pizza meal, of course, as well, with my board games buddy Mark, who designed about 7 of the games that are on the shelf.
Well, we did meet at a pizza place, though. Remember?
We did. Yeah, that was with Mark.
Was awesome. Yeah.
Pizza.
Oh yeah, that's good. Then we went to a bar, and Lance was hitting on every chick in the bar. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Can I correct you on that, please? I hit on one chick who was incredibly hot. and
You
and
had
the way.
your arm around like every chick at that one table.
Some of them were some of them
We
were
wanted
only
a
identified as
photograph
women.
with the English guy. Who was I to say no?
Don't
then
hate
you
the
were like,
player,
"Hey,
hate the game.
Do you think the waitress is down?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know."
Good man, Lance. Look at you.
Memo: never go out with
Look,
Rini. She
I had
rats
just
you
gone
out.
through my divorce. I was single for the first time in many years. So, you know.
Lance is very friendly when he has a few drinks in him, but it's adorable.
Yeah.
You know, you have to rein him back and be like, "Dude, come on.
I'm a good wingman.
So cute.
Yeah.
Right, I'll be
So
your
we're-
wingman,
we're-
Lance. Don't
we're-
worry.
Yeah.
We'll get you
We're
something.
doing that for sure. Well, I've just updated my little track here, but retro, that doesn't mean you can't still shout Lance at me occasionally if I do something bad.
Okay.
Just
Hey.
Getting everyone's names on here.
Whatever
All right,
happens
guys,
in
I
Vegas
gotta-
stays in Vegas.
I got to run in 2 seconds because I have a
Ready.
prior commitment to Mr. Brown Alliance, you know,
Yeah.
so I
right.
stick to my commitments. So I just wanted to say congratulations on the 3K
Thank you.
and hope all goes well. Of course, it is so far. So I will chat with you at another time, my friend.
All right.
Sounds
I'll
good,
see
Thank
you
you
real
again,
soon.
Rennie.
Bye,
All
Randy.
right. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
See you
You
later.
too.
See you.
Blue
Mr.
Collar,
Brown
you
made
mentioned Reacher.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what people think of season 2 of Reacher. Who's watching it? Hands up.
It's on my backlog right now.
Yeah,
so
me
I'm
Yeah.
too.
gonna-
Me too.
Okay. I know Retro's not a she's not up there.
It's not old. It's not an old enough of a show for her.
Yeah,
No.
I do look
I'm
at some of.
I'm joking.
Oh no, but I do look at a lot of modern things, and that's one I know I've heard really great things about, and I do want to watch when I have enough time. But we're already on season 2, so that means like we've got to do some catching up. So it's
Well,
kind of another deterrent.
They're only 8-episode seasons, and they're only
Okay.
45 minutes per episode.
Okay,
it's
so
not a big commitment.
sorry, who's seen it again? Cannoli, Gooch, and Darker? No,
I've
are you
seen
scratching
season
your
1.
chin?
I got it.
So the whole bottom row has seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tomby, just don't go off on a Stupenzo segue, but in a short answer,
I've been behaving.
You know I love you. You have.
He's trying to.
He's trying.
Well, he got it all out yesterday on my channel.
Oh, God.
Okay, so this I'm going to ask everybody this same question that's seen it. Compared to season 1, slightly better, much the same, or not as good? Where do you stand?
Not as good.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, Dark Hour.
Well, I know it wasn't one of the choices. It's slightly worse. That's
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
not as good, not as
no.
good.
Yeah, not as good.
Blue
Yeah, it's
Collar.
slightly worse.
Better action, but the story is more clunky.
Okay, Cannoli.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, good.
Not yet.
Gooch, did you were you scratching your chin or had you seen?
I
it?
only
couldn't-
seen season 1. I'm just
Okay.
finishing The Bear right now. The Bear is.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes and I've been eating hot beef sandwiches that I made ever since.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I'm not
It's
joking.
one of those shows that makes you hungry.
Oh
I'm
man.
just like I'm making
Yes,
these.
chef.
Ugh.
Basically, one of the main issues with Reacher season 2 is first of all, they skipped way ahead in the books.
Yeah.
So there's some context missing for certain things. And number
Right.
2, the biggest problem for me is it's becoming a little bit unrealistic now. The first season was a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
And this season is a little bit more like there was one sequence like out of context, it won't matter, but they're like in a hospital, and I was like, why is there nobody gives a shit about what's going on? There's like cops posted outside the door, like, why did no one care? It's so you get to this point where it's like you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit more than you probably should have to. It's still worth to watch. The action, and I agree with you, Chris, that the action is a little bit better. But that's mostly because now they have more people doing action. It's not just one person, really.
My issue with season 2 is very much in agreement with you. The bit that did it for me was when they ram raided that massive building.
Yeah, I agree.
Went in and there was like a security guard post, but there was no security guard. This is a huge installation that does military grade equipment. They ram raid the front. They get to download some servers, and they get out just before the police sirens arrive. That's absolute bullshit. That firm would have on-site security at the very least because of what they've
even
got
in
in there.
that scene, it's not written very well. Like they have this whole thing about like, oh well, if we're out in whatever, I think it was 15 minutes or something was like the amount of time that they said.
Yeah.
And he was like, and you leave even if someone's not here, and then like he's not in the truck, and then they're like, oh, we got, and then they start leaving, and then he starts chasing them like, hey guys,
yeah, that was
like he missed his school bus, like, hey, I'm over here.
Like,
I haven't checked, but it felt like it was a first time writer that wrote that episode. I'll tell you my second issue with it before I let Zombie jump in is I don't like the ensemble 18 thing with this second season. Reacher for me is kind of like a loner who comes into town, solves a problem, maybe uses some of his military contacts, and then goes on. I would have liked to have seen this as like season 4. I want some just Reacher on his own stuff. Yeah. And I some of the other characters are not as good. Some of the actors are good. Some of them are all right. There's no one that's terrible, but
it's one of the reasons why they jumped further in the books was because they were afraid of people not knowing, like not having that connection point. So Neely, the character that was in the first season, is also in this one, is the only real anchor point between the two. And if they would have did in order of the books, she wouldn't have been in it till like book 7 again, which is I believe what book 7 or 8. So
So Vex, your thoughts on John Reacher's muscles? Any comments?
I mean, I'm looking forward to watching the series just based on that, but I have no expectations otherwise. No, I still haven't gotten around to season 1. I didn't even know it was a show that came out last year, or was it 2 years ago
last
now?
year.
It was just completely off my radar. So I think I'm supposed to watch Echo today. And then after that, I'm gonna watch Reacher will be my bounce back for that.
You need a palate cleanser after watching. I think.
You know what? I'm going into Echo with I know that everyone's been saying it's terrible, but I'm just gonna go in with maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's
I didn't watch the actual show. I just watched the one fight, reviewed it, and was like, I'm not watching the rest of this. So
it's only 5 episodes. So I figure that's not a huge commitment. But...
Before we switch gears slightly, Tomby, what are your thoughts? Reacher,
Well, very, very much the same as what everyone said. The action's fine. You got no problem with the choreography of the action. There's obviously the some elements of cliche and the overpoweredness of the team. Yes, you're getting a lot of the backstory for those people that have never read the books. You're getting some of the history of when they were the 101st and they're doing some of their investigations and what led them to then leave. But the problem is like Stupendous is saying, you've got Neely who's grounded you between the two seasons. And then you've got all of these additional people.
I said I'm Dark Hour, not Stupendous.
It's Dark Hour said that. I don't watch current shows unless they're near completion. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've not read any of the books, so
yeah.
That's an interesting comment from Gord King there.
Gord,
huge commitment.
But ultimately, the show is still north of a 5. It's still getting a 7 so far for me. And it could easily go up to 7.5 by the time it's completed. So it's still a watchable season, series. Slightly worse than season 1. Season 1 was very well done, very well executed. And yeah, I mean, it's still worthwhile people's time. But Echo, I got probably halfway through the first episode, and that was it.
No.
So good luck, Vex. Good luck, Vex. Don't want to blindside you or bias you, but good luck.
I'm the only woman I see that's going to review it so far, so I have that working for me at least.
Oh, I did. I reviewed it.
Okay, then I am going
no one honestly
review.
From my personal experience.
Hang on. Hang on. I've just got to mute Dark out. There we go. Okay, so I need to read out this super chat if I may, because I don't want to get behind on these. Zach for $5. Not I'm expecting loads. Congrats on the 3K, onward to 100K. Zax and I are due to do a big stream on The Shield, which is my favorite show.
Oh yeah,
of
great. I'm
all
rewatching that now.
time.
Yep, great show.
And I don't know if we're going to do. I'd like to do the whole thing episode by episode. I really would, because I think the writing is so good.
It's amazing,
and I could really break down that
Lance,
show. Also,
it's a great time. It is a lot of fun breaking down episode by episode. We did that with Blue Eyes Samurai. It's a lot of fun.
Well, actress, I'll tell you another guest that's just said they will come on the show, who was in several episodes. She's now a director, just done a movie called The Summer of Love. But actress Nikki Marshall, who there was a rival team, I think it was in season 2. They were like the undercover Vice team, and they kind of got moved into the building. So she was the girl that was in that. In that team. She's also been in several other shows, including Animal Kingdom, 76 actor credits. And I reached out to her a long time ago, actually, when I thought I had a part for her in something, but that film didn't happen, sadly. But I've kind of followed her journey as a director. I'm just very impressed with her work ethic and everything. And she does a lot of really interesting behind the scenes stuff. So she's going to be a great guest. And I'm in particular really interested in talking to her about her time on The Shield as well. So, and of course, her film that she's just directed. I don't know when that's probably going to happen, maybe towards the end of February, but that's another guest that just confirmed the other day. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah. So thanks, Zach. Thanks for that, man. I know me and Zach's totally live in different time zones. So I don't mean just the time zones. I mean, our body clocks are completely different, but we'll find a way to make that work at some point. Dark Hour, sorry, you've got 30 seconds now to continue your point.
He's still muted.
Oh, is he? Oh,
I can unmute myself.
I can unmute yourself, yeah. I know it's already useful, that is it?
I have control. Damn it, I have control. I was just saying, in my experience, I'm realizing that like the MCU is basically dead. I think I'm not even sure how much of it I'm even going to bother reviewing at this point. I mean, power to you, Vex, to review that whole show. I did the one fight, and it was getting ridiculous like levels of click-through rate. Just nobody gave a shit enough for it to get searched out. It seems it's just I'm officially saying that the MCU has died with this. It's and it's probably the worst fight I've ever seen. It's up there. Okay, I should say it's the worst fight I've ever seen that wasn't ironically being that. Like, there's fights that are like designed in movies to look terrible and shows. This was one of the worst ones that was being taken seriously. And
I was actually wondering about that because I was talking to someone else who did I'm just saving all these Echo reviews because I don't like to watch a review before a show. I don't want to go in with some bias, right? But they were saying the same thing. Like they made a review on it and insanely high click-through rate. But like I'm just seeing even on Twitter, like no one's really talking about Echo. Even advertisements, I'm not seeing a lot for Echo. So I'm just wondering if this will be one of, like you said, everyone is kind of at the point where the MCU is dead. So maybe just no one.
If you want a good laugh, go look at the people defending the Daredevil Echo fight in my comments. It is some of the funniest shit. Trying to tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I only have tons of fight experience. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But
you're not blind, man. That's why you don't know what it is.
And here's something that I've noticed. I've kind of watched what's happening on X right now. There's a lot of people who are afraid to talk about this because you're going to be insulting a whole lot of people. But honestly, when you look, I mean, no one wants to be that bad guy. But when you look at the story, the entire thing, there's a lot to be desired, a lot of questions still unanswered by the end of it. And the fight scenes in particular, they were creating these fight scenes as if the lead character had superpowers, and I'm like, she doesn't have superpowers, right? She just punches a huge guy into the wall, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you I don't understand. She already has superpowers, and she's supposed to be an average person at this time, but skilled up with fighting ability.
The great irony. I was just gonna say, in the comics, she's kind of a no-name character. She is adopted by Kingpin, and she's kind of like a character that is not really known in the Marvel universe.
She's
when it comes
discount
to
Taskmaster.
Yeah, and
that's what it is.
they gave her powers of the Phoenix, which
Yeah.
is something they should never have done. So this to, throw that in there. And so like this character here, I think people are just like, who the hell is Echo? She should, if you're going to introduce a character and have a series, she has to have some depth, like some background depth onto other shows. She should have been on the original Daredevil series or even Hawkeye or whatever, just so people can know, okay, this is a new character. Maybe I might want to watch this, but just to throw it there and think, oh, people are going to watch it. It's not going to.
No, that's the problem. I don't think anybody's watching it.
Well, also the comic books did it better. They explained her her creation or her power set much better than it was done in this movie or in this series. And I think that was the real issue for me, was like trying to figure, okay, well, how did she get those powers? Okay, does she already have powers? What's going on here? And it really, when they did get into this area of her powers, I'm not going to do any spoilers for you, Vex. But when they finally do get into the powers, you're still wondering, okay, how does this actually going to help in a battle with other like Avenger characters or super villains? Like, how does this work in the MCU, and how does it work in the world of Daredevil? And that's kind of like who is this person?
Cannoli, I would not use that title. That's
I know.
Guaranteed.
It's really meant to be a joke. It's kind of funny.
It's hilarious.
I do have to go right after this, but it's actually funny. The one thing that a lot of people were mentioning, like, oh, if you take a shot at this, you take a shot at the person who's deaf, you take a shot at the person who has no leg, you're taking a shot at the indigenous peoples, which is my favorite part about this. Is I'm more Choctaw than she is. And that's the tribe she's supposed to represent, and she's not even her background isn't even that tribe. And I, the guy sitting down here who's whiter than everybody else on this panel, is actually the direct descendant of a Choctaw chieftain. So I don't feel very represented in that show. I'm just going to say that.
Is she originally indigenous in the comics, or is that a race swap?
That is actual. That is actual.
Yeah.
So that would explain why they chose her then, essentially.
Yeah. You are looking quite pasty today. I'm normally the most pasty person on my channel.
There you go. I can make myself pastier.
Yeah.
It depends on how high I have the light up in front of me.
I know you've got to shoot off in a sec, but man, just really appreciate your friendship, and it's been great collaborating with you in 2023. Long may that continue this year.
Oh yes, definitely. I already have you booked for a few of the movies for Two Hoes and such. And
when is this quiz thing I'm supposed to be doing?
Lance, the first rule is that you're not supposed to tell people you're on the show.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing the quiz. Actually, Andrew, let me know if you want to pop on, buddy. You're welcome.
Okay, literally the first rule is that you don't know who you're playing. I might have to replace you now. Okay, you're not going to know who you're playing against. There you go.
Okay. Right, cool. Hey, Darko, in terms of your experience, you ever jump over a fence and dodge a shotgun blast about two?
I can't jump over a fence. My knees are shot. Probably more than the shotgun would hit. Actually, my knees are basically.
That was the best part of the whole fight sequence,
That's a very random question there.
Well, at one point during the fight, Daredevil jumps over the fence. I point this out. Jumps over the fence. She grabs a shotgun.
She's about this far from him,
and now she's a little further, which actually makes it more. She's about 5 feet away from him.
Yep.
Fires, which would allow the spread to get out, and he dodges every piece of the shell. So
Darkad, just before you go, I'm going to say, and this is a general comment for all of my guests, and I know Retro will back me up on this, is that one of the things that's nice about the early days of YouTube when your channel is growing is the level of interaction that you have in the chat when you're doing a live stream. You can read out pretty much every comment. You can say hi to every guest, as Retro makes a massive effort to do that at the beginning of every stream. It feels very personal. It's very interactive. And that's kind of nice. That's like I was reading Matthew Perry's autobiography last night. Decided to buy it because I thought that was the best way to honor his memory. And it's heartbreaking read. But he talked about that after they recorded the first season, but before it was released, everybody knew the show was going to be a massive hit. So they all went to Las Vegas for a weekend and just walked down the strip and hung out at the casino, because they knew when they went massive, they wouldn't be able to do that again.
Oh.
And that was that. Perry called it his last weekend of freedom, because from thereafter they got mobbed everywhere they went. And that's a bit like, I guess, if you have, once you hit that 500,000 or a million subs, it's not like you're going to get mobbed when you go out. I don't mean that, but the way you can interact with the chat and everything is it's a completely different thing. And I remember when I was on Drinker's very first live stream. That's how I became his very first mod, because somebody said you need a moderator, and I just went, I'll do it. I didn't even know what it was. And he went, oh yeah, Outcast Creative. He bought a super chat because I'd bought a super chat as well. And we had already been talking, but I don't think he'd made the connection between my account and who I was at that time. And so that was the first and only time he had that level of interaction on his live stream. The next one was just nuts. And then after that, even on slow-mo, we as moderators, we can't keep up with all the stuff that's going on. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, at the lower levels, there's a sweet spot to be had. There's a kind of there's an intimacy to the communication that you have with your subscribers, that the bigger you get, the wider that gap will become. And I guess you could call it the price of fame or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, appreciate this time, because the bigger you get, the less of this time you will have with your supporters. On that note, I know Dark Hour, you've got a dash before I ask my Rebel Moon question. So
oh god. Well, if you wanted to hear about Rebel Moon, I did a whole video on it, so you could just, if you want, pull it up, play it. I won't blame you. It's, you can do it.
My discussion is going to go a different direction. Okay, all right. So I'll see you soon, bud.
Yep, I'll catch you later.
Bye, Dark Hour.
See you later, Doc.
So, Retro, you liked Rebel Moon.
Oh, I did.
Discuss.
It's long.
No, sorry, let me do that again. Retro. You liked Rebel Moon.
Yes, hold the grenade and yeah, I know that a lot of people did not like the Rebel Moon, but I did. It harkens back to a lot of movies I deeply treasure that are kind of the like cult classics, if you will, and sort of I got a lot of enjoyment from it. I mean, that's the only thing I can really say. I mean, if we can get into specifics of things that that people have issues with, that I don't have issues with, then I can maybe explain why I don't have issues with certain things.
For anyone who doesn't know what Rebel Moon is, I'm just going to put the poster up for Rebel Moon now. There it is. Okay, carry on. Well, close enough. I mean,
Yeah.
But
I disagree, but I mean, it is there. That story is basically the same story. It's all from, of course, Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
And other movies did the very same thing, like Magnificent Seven, and also a very, very wonderful little movie that I absolutely treasure, Message from Space, which is really I do love it so much. So it's a storyline in which I'm used to and definitely like a lot. So that's why
I mean, apart from the fact that it harked back to older films, and I did see that.
Yeah.
So I get completely what you mean, and I don't know if anybody's seen Starfleet, the Japanese children's kind of TV show. You guys familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, the theme tune to that was written by one of the main singers from Queen. Anyway, Messages from Space is that kind of movie.
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And there's something I just do love about that kind of a movie. So it is mine, my little thing. I think it's because during the 70s, 80s, 90s, it was just a time when science fiction really wasn't like universally loved as it is now. And it was so very rare to find a story that was science fiction. And anyone that I could get my hands on, I just kind of, loved relentlessly. So, and this one is sort of the same storyline, basically, where you have 7 warriors that need to come together to win a war. And
Right.
so, yeah.
Vex, I feel if you present in this costume, you'll definitely get 10 extra subscribers.
I need to take off whatever that black thing is that she's got her under. Yeah, that. But I think, yeah, I agree with you. Probably, yeah.
It's I have actually seen Messages from Space. It was one of those films that was released on video. The local video store, and some artists would do a really cool cover, and you'd think it was going to be this spectacular action movie, and you rented it out and you realized it was a Japanese film that was all dubbed, even though they sold you on a cover that they made it look like it was an American movie. And there was another film that did that. I'm going to come back to Rebel Moon in a sec, but not too much time, but called Time Slip. Does anyone ever remember that?
I've heard of it, but
I've
never
heard of it. Yeah,
platoon of Japanese soldiers along with a tank, and it's about 30 men. They go back in time to the samurai time. And hey, Jacob Ironside on the channel for the first time.
Oh, hey, thanks for inviting me, Lance, and
Oh
congratulations.
man, of course you're welcome.
Hi, Jacob.
Everyone's welcome here, man. Everyone.
Nice.
Hey, everybody.
And it's good. We've got that symmetrical Brady Bunch look again. So no one else is allowed to leave until I have a replacement. But Time Slip was nuts. It's called something else, and it's had loads of different covers, and I'll try and get you an image up of it. But they did a remake of it as well, but with just CGI everything, which wasn't so cool. But one thing I always remember about that movie is there's a really dramatic scene where a load of people get killed towards the end. And me and my friend Paul Wilkins, we were watching it as like a Saturday. We always rented out a couple of videos. And this quite traumatic scene occurs. And then you're sort of quite gripped. And then suddenly this song came on that went, friendly. Like this. We looked at each other and like, what's this? And it was like this pop song that came out of nowhere. There's been no other pop song in the movie at all, anywhere. This is a movie about traveling back in time and battles, and then suddenly there's like an 80s pop song in the middle of this sequence. We had to rewind the tape. Is that really there? It was really there. So so that's Time Slip. I'm sure you guys are going to check that out. So what else did you like about Rebel Moon?
I did the video already. I don't want to. What else? See, like the everything about it. I like the editing, which everybody hated. I like the slow motion, which everybody hated. I love the characters, design, everything about it. I did enjoy the film.
I liked a lot of things about it, including the production design, some of the world building, some of the characters. Really liked that strange spider lady sequence, but there was a mesh of good ideas that didn't quite connect. But I'm actually one of the few people that I would be really interested in seeing the longer cut.
Well, yeah, that's coming. That's coming, and also what's also coming is the other half of the movie. So I mean,
2 parts. There's a third part that they haven't filmed yet.
Yeah. So it's definitely something that's going a lot slower than, it's not complete yet. So I really didn't even give this a score. And so if part 2 is awesome, that's going to make this even better. But if it isn't, then I'll be disappointed, definitely. Yeah, it's not going to, right now I'm in a place of like hope that it will eventually, we're going to get the whole story. We're going to get to see more. The director's cut is actually the one I'm really looking for, because it's going to be more savage and going to have more of the things that I'm looking for.
Actually, Andrew appears quite distressed.
Sorry,
I don't know if he's talking about that or his own script. Shield Wall of Dragons. I do want to see the director's cut, because the director's cut of Sucker Punch was better than the theatrical release. I haven't seen the director's cut of Sucker Punch. I quite liked Sucker Punch. Very cheesy nonsense, but there was something about the aesthetic for me. I like all that World War One Zeppelin airship stuff. I liked all that. I found the trailer for Time Slip, which I have dropped in the chat. So if you're really keen to see what this Japanese time travel movie's like,
I think Cannoli has to go, by the way.
Okay, Cannoli, do you want to just give us a quick plug about your latest streams?
Yeah. So while Monday or tomorrow we're doing Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. That's a 2-part stream, so we're breaking that up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Lance, you're going to be on there, of course, Vex, and then of course Beach Boy over here. So looking forward to breaking down part 1 of that movie and of the extended cut. So looking forward to that. And then Friday we have their Cannoli Connection coming back, where me and Sassy are interviewing the coach MC. We're going to talk about his background and what he does, and he's a fellow Italian, so we're going to be talking a lot about food.
This is the guest that Dark Hour had on. Was it? Yeah,
No, it was. I think
Jay
it was
had
me.
him on.
Yeah,
sorry, Gooch.
Yeah, we all don't look alike, Lance. God.
Yeah.
Come on. Dude,
do,
you all
to
wear
be
black
perfectly
hats and
honest.
black t-shirts. I can't.
I see how it
tell
is.
you
No, I'm just kidding, Lance. I'm just kidding. But yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night, Lance. It's always a pleasure streaming with you, and congratulations on your 3K. I loved collaborating with you. You're an awesome person. So thank you for having me on, and I love having you on MMM whenever we can. You're a pleasure. So we love you, dude.
Well, I always love coming on, because I always prep a load of Vex jokes. So it's always
that's great.
As per my
I love
contract
them.
with you, state, not allowed to come on unless I've got at least 5 Vex jokes. Cannoli said.
Of course, that's the rule, but you'll have them. But yeah, great meeting you all, of course, and streaming with you guys. And then that's it, Lance. Congratulations, and I will be in the chat, and then I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I'll subject to my voice. I should be on there.
Not a problem. I'll send you a link anyway.
All right. Please do.
Thank you.
Good night,
everybody.
Cannoli.
See ya.
Take care of yourself.
Fab guy, and one of the best names on YouTube, or indeed ever. So well, I guess we probably haven't got anything else to say about Rebel Moon. Who has seen the Italian rip-off of Star Wars? I know I've mentioned this on my stream before, and it's available for free on YouTube. The whole film's on there.
I know Turkish Star Wars.
There's also
how many countries made Star Wars ripoffs?
Everyone.
Everyone, pretty much. Turkish Star Wars was the craziest, I think.
Yeah, they were, and they were shameless about it too. They were shameless about
Turkish Star
all
Wars.
the.
Yeah.
I'm
Turkish
talking
Star Wars
about
literally uses footage of the X-wings and stuff from the movie. Like, it's they got in trouble. Yeah, they got in trouble.
Oh wow. Well, this is the humanoid, which is the Italian one. This is the Luke Skywalker guy, and
an Italian head of hair.
By the way,
arms. Oh my god.
the Italian on the titles, the Italian film director changed his name to George B. Lucas.
Wow.
Kid you not.
Oh,
Why
my
not?
Goodness.
Well, just to try and sell the film. This is he's called Carano or something like that. I've got it. He's this strange kid that he's got these two bodyguards that appear who've got cool crossbows that shoot bolts into people. Richard Keel.
Hey, it's all
Jaws.
Watch
Jaws.
So Richard Keel and Barbara Bach, who are both in The Spy Who Loved Me, I reckon they've both got the same agent because they both appeared in this not long after that. This was a very cool set.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah,
it was
is.
it was
Kinda
like some
impressive.
modern university building or something that they
See,
used. And then,
and that's why I like these ripoffs, because they're, even though they're using storylines and things, elements from Star Wars, they're also being very creative to create their own kind of little thing.
Yeah.
Which is like I said, as somebody who loved science fiction, and they weren't really putting a lot of money into science fiction at that time. This is gold, you know. I was like, what is this? Just really excited to see somebody else doing science fiction.
I'm gonna do an episode of Chew the Fat on Star Wars ripoffs at some point this year.
Fun.
So I'd urge you guys. I will put the link for it on in a minute. I actually want to show a couple of quick clips of it. So now, does this costume on the left look a bit familiar?
No.
So the line in this
not.
scene is, "No one can stop me now, princely hero." That's what he actually says. And then those
That's a
gloves,
cool name for a character.
princely hero, yeah. Then those
Yeah.
gloves glow, and they sort of become like emperor hands. But don't forget, this Jedi wasn't out yet, so this show was ahead of its time. There's Barbara Bach. Are you liking that corridor set?
Yeah.
Very original.
Practical for having grooves where people can hide behind to have laser fights, which indeed they do.
Yeah.
There's Barbara Bach, borrowed one of Vex's outfits there.
Very attractive lady.
And she has to take a youth serum, which is drained from other ladies in order to keep her. She's already like sort of 300 years old or something. Corinne Clary, also a Bond girl from Moonraker, appeared in this film. So again, I'm going to suggest they probably all had the same agent. I mean, Retro's right. The film is quite charming. It has some massive action scenes in it, but the dubbed English dialogue leaves a lot to be desired.
A lot of these movies weren't. They didn't use any of the audio from the set. They just they just dubbed everything. So it's really kind of interesting because they try to recreate even the Foley, and that some of that even isn't that great. So there is some comedy to be had in watching some of these as well.
I don't know what language this is, but in some country, the film's called Uze Katalari. And the El Humanoid, that's the French one. Uninspired would have been able to tell us that, but he's gone now. Look, there you go. Look, see, directed by, look at the bottom there, George B. Lewis. But look who did the music for this, Ennio Morricone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's got a very catchy, if somewhat annoying score. But once you hear that score, you're going to hear it forever.
Yeah, and a lot of these did have really, really good scores, but like you said, they only had like 5 minutes of it, so they would just replay it over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's one of those ones like a worm that gets in your head. And but the other one was Star Crash, wasn't it?
I love Star Crash with Stella Star.
It's got David Hasselhoff in it.
Yes, David Hasselhoff is in it, and Christopher Plummer is playing the Emperor. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you guys.
Well, whenever you do this show, you got to let me know. I might want to take part in the shenanigans.
Sure. So I got to show you guys a clip from the movie, okay? And I mean, needless to say, it took its inspiration from a couple of different places.
Can you play that with
Oh, actually, Andrew's here.
Wow.
Welcome to the
Hello.
stream
Hi,
and the
Andrew.
channel.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
Dude,
Can you-
every time I see your name, I just think of Andrew from Big Mouth, you know, the show on Netflix.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So we're talking about random nonsense topics at the moment, Italian rip-offs of Star Wars. So this is the opening sequence, or one of the bits of the opening for the humanoid, right? I'm just going to play a few seconds. It might seem quite familiar, but very kind of plasticky, low rent underside of a ship. You know,
I've never seen this in my life. This is 100% original.
Yeah. I won't show any more, but that's a prison ship that guards Growl, and shortly 2 guys are about to get blown up by it.
I really want to watch it now.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, dude.
Yeah, these are
Mate.
great. These are great. You should definitely watch these and at least have a good laugh at it. I mean, if you're, this is all, I mean, enjoy it, because that's what it was made for people to enjoy.
There's one bit where Corinne Cleary kind of leaves this base, which is where this special thing is stored. So these guys, on behalf of the Darth Vader character, come to get this new experimental thing that turns people into humanoids, which makes them indestructible, basically. And the line is, when she doesn't respond to them because she's kind of in a trance, she must have been hitting the alpha wave pills again, which I thought was a brilliant line. But these guys, they're like a hit squad. They come in, and it's actually when they burst in, it's actually pretty violent. They just like massacre absolutely everybody, including all the civilians. And as an action sequence, it's actually quite well done. You know, every hit has an explosion coming off of someone's body, and so all of these films have got something to recommend them.
Yeah.
To what degree you enjoy them, I guess, will largely depend on your sense of humor.
Yeah. You do need a good sense of humor for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask my panel, and if anybody does need to go, just let me know. But while I've still got you all here, Vex, as you may be leaving us shortly, I'd like to ask each person, tell me a film of yours that's either a guilty pleasure or a film that some people consider a bit rubbish, but you love it. Vex, what would that be for you?
The Lake House.
Oh,
I like that movie.
The main thing I know about that is the Family Guy sketch from that, where the guy, because you put something in the post box,
Yep.
and then it appears in the other post box in the time zone, and somebody puts something in the post box. So I'm not going to say what.
His,
Yeah.
No, I get a lot of flack for liking that one, but it is a guilty pleasure. It's not great cinema. It's not particularly stellar performances or anything really unique, but it's a guilty pleasure movie for me.
Okay. Oh, that's fair enough, man.
It's Keanu Reeves. Come on.
There you go. Keanu Reeves being cute and romantic and everything, so that helps. But I acknowledge it's not a very good movie, but I've got a soft spot for it. I could toss that on any day and I'll enjoy it.
Right. Somebody's asking me if I would be able to do a stream with Damian Lewis. Well, I absolutely would if I could. Oh, he means the author Damian Lewis. I have met him before, so he may well be up for coming on. So the Lake House for Vex, the Lake House. Cool. Do you have a second one?
Not really off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
No.
Actually, Andrew, welcome to the channel, man.
Hello.
Because I don't think I've had you on before, so you're welcome anytime. Great to have you here. Let us know. Do you have one?
Probably I'd choose one of the Michael Bay Transformers movies. I'd probably go with like specifically the fourth one. The fourth one is the most egregious in terms of like how just crazy Michael Bay was going, because you've got like you've got this
Is that the
like,
Mark Wahlberg one?
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Number
Yeah.
one, you have Mark Wahlberg being Mark Wahlberg, and then number two,
I haven't seen it.
You have this cast of Transformers. You've got Optimus Prime. You've got country singing government like tank man with military equipment.
Kelsey
You've got
Grammer.
like you've got an Australian, and then you've got like this samurai robot. I don't know how he's a samurai because he came from space, but whatever. Let him cook, I guess. And then you've got the enemy transformer that makes his head into a gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's peak. It's peak stupid. Oh, that's from the fifth one. That's Psychopathic C3PO.
According to this, it's from the last night, which is this.
No, that's
is
the
on
fifth one.
Yeah, oh, that's the fifth one.
Yeah, no, you need Age of Extinction or
Extinction.
something.
So you're telling me that Mark Wahlberg did 2 Transformer movies?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Oh, the fifth one even gets crazier.
Sorry.
Yeah, the fifth one.
Age of Extinction. I do like that movie in a strange way, but it's so bad. Oh my God.
The third act is bonkers, though. It's like them guys destroying all of China.
Oh yeah, like
Just Hong Kong is gone.
Yes.
I haven't seen.
And then the dinosaurs show up.
Yes, the dinosaurs. Yeah, that was it. I was like,
No,
Optimus Prime is not reasonable at all. He's like, save my people, or I will kill you.
he beats the shit out of a metal T-Rex.
Calm down. Yeah, he does. He puts a sword to the guy's neck. He's like, bro, calm down.
yeah.
I haven't seen any
That's really
Transformers
good.
movies after the second one, which I thought was rubbish. The first one I really liked.
The first one. Was
First one was fun. Yeah.
You guys looking forward to this? Transformers 1.
What's it about?
Well, what they've done is
Is it a
they've
prequel?
borrowed Jennifer
got one
Lawrence's time
Transformer.
machine, and they've gone back in time, and this is now the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime.
My only criticism is that I will
Shouldn't that be Transformers -1?
Yeah, really. Well, it's
Oh
the
my
fact
God, that would be so hilarious.
Having
if they did
Chris
that.
Hemsworth voice Optimus
wouldn't put it
is
past
a weird
him.
choice. I can't see Hemsworth voicing Optimus. It doesn't sound right.
Where was this cat? Is this for the new movie?
100%. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It's the first time Peter
What?
Cullen in 35 years, and he just won the Lifetime Achievement Award, is
Yep.
not voicing Optimus the first
Oh, wow.
time.
Is that
And
by like did he retire or
No,
they
he
just
didn't,
decided
Zach.
He's probably
He-
really old.
he just voiced him in Rise of the Beast. He sounded fantastic in Rise of the Beast.
You
brought a
human here.
And he sounded fine. He sounded
It's not that hard
John
for someone to
Hamm
do
is,
an Optimus Prime impression.
But
He
Hemsworth,
sounded fine when he was picking up his award as well.
Weird.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't like that
that's
either.
why I
I
said
hope-
it's a strange choice.
I hope Hemsworth
Optimus
isn't
Prime is like
doing
you
his
kind of do.
New
You just do
Zealand.
Tony the Tiger, but like kind of roll your
Yeah.
R's more. Optimus Prime, they're great. You know, and isn't he the
I'm
same dude
coming.
who does the voice of Tony the Tiger?
Tony the Tiger.
Is
I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he does.
Phrasing,
thanks for being
Andrew,
in
phrasing.
the chat, Celeste, and always a pleasure. Yeah, so Darth Plato's saying Dinobots. So, Jacob, you haven't had a chance to speak much yet because for a minute there we devolved into Friday night tight sort of chat mode. Not allowed on my channel.
Oh, that's okay.
No, Jacob, have you got a guilty pleasure movie?
Phew, man.
Is
I
he
have
still
one that's
there?
probably a guilty pleasure movie, but it's a cult classic.
Oh, that's
Big
right.
Trouble in Little China.
Oh, mate. I mean, that's not a guilty pleasure.
It's a
That's
man
an
of good
absolute
taste.
must.
Good movie.
Yeah,
though.
That's an awesome.
I just, yeah, it is. It is. Oh,
I have
man,
the
I can't
vinyl
think of any
soundtrack for that.
guilty pleasure movies.
I've got the vinyl soundtrack for that right there. And I have 2 Big Trouble in Little China posters that I'm going to give away on my 5,000 subs stream. One to one of my guests who comes in, who answers a certain question correctly. There'll be many levels and quests and side quests till you get to that question, of course. And then I'll be giving one away to the chat. So I've got 2 original Big Trouble posters. They're the American ones, so they're the portrait ones. Yeah, I just found them the other day, and I've got an original UK one, so these I can afford to pass on to people that would appreciate them. Jacob, that's a good one. But what about if you got a film that you like that sort of most people don't think is very good? Because most people love Big Trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
Let's just put him on the spot here.
Can't think of
Okay.
any.
What do you love, Jacob?
See, that's why I wear a helmet, so I don't.
Yeah, that goes well with that.
Can't read your thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, how do you get your screen to look like that? I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
What, solo layout?
Yeah, like that.
You just
Like no. How Jacob has a picture as his.
I put it on
avatar.
green screen.
Oh.
I put it on green screen and put the opacity all the way up.
Right.
It's like got a little slide bar next to it.
Steel
You
Leg
just
of
slide it all
History,
the way up.
$1.99. Have you seen Ice Pirates the movie? Yes, I have. I own the movie. Retro's done a great video on Ice Pirates live stream, I think. Where you
it was just a watch party. I
watch
haven't done my deep dive of it yet, and I love that movie. That is one of my guilty pleasures.
That's possibly the only film that's got a battle sequence in it where people age and grow massive beards during the fight scene.
Yes.
And the robots fall apart because they're getting older, because there's a constant time shift. So
It's
by
wonderful.
the end of the battle, a baby's been born, grown into a son, and the son saves the father. It's as nuts as it sounds, but it's great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. Blue Collar Loser. What about a film that you like that maybe isn't on?
I would say in my lifetime, I'm younger than you, Lance, but I would say the most divisive movie would be the biggest blockbuster with Avatar, the first one, because it really is that.
I like it.
I've never seen a film that has more like almost like hate watches, but then you can't deny the box office. And like, I understand the criticisms of this film, but then someone like Joe Rogan or friends of mine, they watch Avatar on a yearly basis. And I understand the fact it's stupid, but then again, it's the ultimate escapism. And my sister said to this day, I was in jail when it came out. She goes, Chris, I watched Avatar in 3D in the cinemas, and she goes, it's the greatest experience I've ever had in my life seeing Avatar in 3D. So it's the ultimate, it's the best looking dumb movie of all time.
It divides a lot of people, but listen, I absolutely loved it. For me, it was an event movie. It was a benchmark in technology. And I saw it at the cinema on the big screen 7 times, including an extended version, which was like 25 minutes longer.
I finally got to see Avatar 1 because when 2 came out, they put them back to back. I never seen Avatar in theaters. And again, the fact that, Cameron, love him or hate him, look at his CGI 14 years later compared to current Marvel and DC. So it's like for that, I do understand objectively the story issues, but like you can't deny the freaking mocap. It's amazing.
I was okay with the script for the first one. I thought it was fine. I did the job. I think the second one had a lot of. The second film feels like a middle film, and it's setting up a lot of other things. And I'm interested to see where it goes.
It's weird how like people they're forgiving the second one because again, 2023. Look, a strong father figure, a nuclear family, no Mary Sue characters. I mean, we are going backwards in terms of character development, but we're so used to getting beaten over the head with like Mary Sue characters and hating the male lead. Where Avatar 2 didn't have that.
Yeah, that's true. Which is good. Tomby, what about you? Because I know you got to go soon.
Guilty pleasures. There's quite a few, but one of obviously one of the I would say the funniest in many ways has got to be Life Force.
Oh, yes, nice pick.
It's, I mean, it's
I have
space
several
vampires.
friends
It's amazing.
who were in that as extras.
Have you?
And I can, mainly as kind of zombie vampires or corpses, and I can spot them in more than one scene. I mean that is a nuts film.
That's a film I could just throw on. I don't even have to watch the actual screen. I can just listen to it. I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
You just turn your head during the Matilda May sequences, and then you're
100%.
Yeah,
because she is basically naked throughout the whole film.
Yeah. This is not Matilda May. Just for anyone who seen the movie.
So daft.
That's one I actually covered because I had to do a deep dive on that one. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it has got like a really good. It's like a Hammer horror B movie.
Yeah.
excuse me, where they went all out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be one of my friends lying on the floor there to the right. And they ran out of money. They only shot about 60% of the script, and they ran out of money. So that's why the production got shut down. That's why it feels very disjointed at times. That's why the ending feels rushed.
Yeah.
But it was a hugely ambitious film with all these massive effect sequences and lots of action and London kind of sort of descending into madness.
Yeah, I thought the story element was so intriguing. I wanted more.
Yeah. Michael
Honestly,
Gothard,
it's worth watching. It's worth watching.
Michael Gothard, who's standing up in this shot, he was the Bond villain who Roger Moore kicks over the cliff in the car. I always thought that was a cool sequence. Roger Moore didn't like Bond killing someone that way, and I'm like, well, man, welcome to the real world. A rare shot with Matilda May with her clothes on.
With her clothes on.
in the movie. Has anyone who's not seen it?
Haven't seen it. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
It will be when you see it.
Sexy space
You watch
vampires.
it.
Yes,
Yep.
it'll be awesome.
I think, we might have to do Enzo. We might have to do a watch party on that one.
Yeah,
I'm always down to watch Lives Wars.
Enzo, before I forget, I'm gonna do Chew the Fat on 2 Australian movies. One is called The Dish, and the other one's called The Castle.
I'm
you
literally
guys
making these thumbnails right now as you're speaking. Don't
Oh,
worry.
fantastic! I say it there, it comes out there. They're 2 really, really good sort of feel good movies. The Dish is a true story about the Australian radar dish. It also features in my Diamonds in the Sky book, the same place. And it's it was involved in the moon landing, and for a while it handled the communications, and that was a big source of pride for the local town. So they invite the Australian American ambassador. One of the funniest bits in the movie is that they've all gathered for a party, and they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the American national anthem?" Everybody stands up, and the band plays the theme from Hawaii Five-0.
Hawaii Five-0.
It's priceless. But if you haven't seen The Dish and you haven't seen The Castle, which is about a kind of a sort of backward family that's a dysfunctional family but lovable family, that they're trying to stop their house from being sold because of an expansion of an airport. It's a really good movie as well, with a very young the guy who played the Hulk, Eric Bana, one of the early guys that played the Hulk, who was also in Black Hawk Down. He's Eric Bana. Eric
Great
Bana.
actor.
Yeah, it was Eric Bana.
He's so good in Troy.
Yeah, well, he's if you want to see one of his very first acting roles, he's in The Castle. This is from The Dish, which Sam Neill plays the lead. And they shot it on location at the actual real Dish, in just outside of, oh god, I forget where. It's in Australia somewhere. Big place, Australia. But yeah, it's a fun film. So I want to talk about both those movies in tandem because they've got quite a similar tone. So if you're looking for 2 feel-good movies to watch, The Dish and The Castle, I highly recommend both. And one of the lines in the film is, "Why is our satellite dish in the middle of a sheep paddock?" There you go. So they put that on the poster. I bet none of you have seen them, have you?
No.
Anyone seen either of those films?
No.
No.
Jacob, Andrew, Bueller, anyone?
No.
Bueller?
No, I haven't seen it.
You should. They're 2 of Australia's best films. Gooch, what about you? Guilty pleasure film?
Anything from the 80s, really. I love.
Well, there was a lot of good films in the 80s.
They actually like the Stallone films, like Over the Top. I like Cliffhanger. They're cheesy, but I just love them. Yeah.
My friend is in Cliffhanger.
Really?
He's the guy who co-wrote the project that we took to Amazon that everybody said was going to happen, and then
I really like John Lithgow as a villain. I think he's so underrated as an actor. That guy is like a man, amazing.
Yeah.
I think anything with Stallone in it is I'm gonna watch, or Schwarzenegger, or Jean Von Clapdam. In the 80s is guilty. Beastmaster was another one that's like super cheesy.
Love
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super cheesy, but I love it.
No, I really like it. Do you know when I watched that? You know, there's the bit where they go up on the ziggurat with Rip Torn, who's playing sax.
Yeah,
The bad guy's called Zax, maybe.
No.
No relation to this Zax who's in the thing.
Yeah, Porky's is another one. Porky's is a great movie.
There's a there's a reverse shot, and you see the whole town below. That's a forced perspective, and either side of the town is a model just stuck to the left and right of the camera. And I never knew that until I saw a making of special edition. Porky's, yeah, that would be a guilty pleasure.
A real guilty pleasure is Coyote Ugly. If you want to watch that,
It knows what it is.
Of course.
So
It's a
I'm going to
fantastic film.
I'm going to give this actor Dennis Forrest a shout out. If any of you have seen the film Andersonville about the Confederate prison in the American Civil War, he's in that, and he's got a really good role in it. Very sadly, he committed suicide in the 90s.
Oh wow!
Craig told me that story. I wondered why I hadn't seen him in anything, and he broke up from his girlfriend, and the whole shebang. So just give him a shout out because he was great in it. Michael Rooker, of course. Caroline Goodall, I met when she was getting into a taxi.
Oh,
yeah, little story there. And Mr. Walton from Walton Mountain, who doesn't make it till the end of the film. That's my friend that was in Cliffhanger.
Okay. Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Also known as Craig Fairbrass. If you call him that guy, he'll get a bit upset.
What else was he in? Because I've seen him in something else too.
he did a couple voices for the Call of Duty games back in the early 2000s. I do know that.
Yeah. He was also in One Piece recently. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he looks very different in One Piece. But he's huge. I mean, he's a really, really big guy. But like I told you, we were doing the British version of The Shield, and he was the corrupt cop. That's who I wrote it for. So you can see why he'd be great.
Yeah.
This is him in One Piece. It looks like
dude.
Oh yeah.
He looks like Asterix here.
Or Downey Hunter a little bit.
Asterix, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally see that.
Yeah, could be playing Asterix the Ghoul. So that's an interesting one. Okay. So basically,
I did think of a couple.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I like that movie, and I'm annoyed by that movie at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. You said there was a second one.
And what's that?
I'm hoping the second one's more fun.
The Dolph Lundgren He-Man.
Masters of the Universe. I love that movie for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe.
Well, Wayne Byrne, who did an industry interview with me, who did Walter Hill's biography, when I interview my guests, I always say, what's your favorite film of all time? What's the first film you saw at the cinema? What's the last film? And his favorite film was Masters of the Universe. I was working at the cinema when this was on, so I got to see it about 500 times.
I love that film so much.
There's a lot about it I really like, actually. I like the music.
Does get a lot right.
Frank Langella is just amazing in it.
Yes, he is.
He is good, especially considering he's working with quite shitty prosthetics. Robert Duncan McNeil would go on to be in Star Trek Voyager. Courtney Cox, this is pre-Friends, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So she was like the
look at that.
That's new, man. Come on.
Yeah, how many scientific degrees does that man have?
It's disturbing.
Like 5
or 6.
It's kind of weird that him and Ram Man hang out together all the time with no shirts on.
Yeah.
Dart said, "Why do I have a feeling that I've been looking for you all night?" I'm not sure if that was a comment for Dolph Lundgren, but hey. Billy Barty, who was in Willow.
Gildor.
Yeah, playing almost the same character.
My favorite part is when they're eating the ribs and they're like, "This came
Ugh.
from an animal." And he's like,
Yeah.
"It tasted good."
I actually have a photograph of me and Dolph
Look at those
Lundgren
set pieces.
together on the beach in California. He was filming a workout video with a British director, and I just asked him if I could have a pic. I kind of liked this craft. I thought this craft was cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
This set was cool. This is the set at the end of the movie where they have the fight sequence and like half a car travels in time or something.
Yeah, that was the most expensive set that they had in it. They were like using it like crazy. They were like, we're going to use the heck out of this.
I thought Meg Foster was great in this because she's got those really piercing eyes.
Yeah, they thought they were contacts. Everyone thought they were contacts.
Those are natural.
No, yeah, that's her eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. I like when Skeletor like comes out at the end and gets all dripped in gold. He's got his new bling outfit. It's so cool.
Oh, so
loud and proud.
Anthony DeLongis, who played Blade, who's also in Sword and the Sorcerer, there is an interview with him on my channel, so you can. And he talked about this film at length, and he said it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, he basically got to create the character for the movie.
Yeah, he did, and he said it was a really happy shoot. Everyone had a really good time. So I was always
just the end. They had to piece everything together because they ran out of money.
Yeah. You can tell.
Well, didn't they just cut to a shot of He-Man going, "I have the power"? And that was like the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, they did that, and then they had one extra scene with Frank Langella coming out of that ooze, which they didn't even need to have.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit naff, I have to say. These costumes look like they were borrowed from The Humanoid, the sci-fi movie we were just talking about. Certainly some similarities.
There it is.
That's possible.
I have the power.
I have the power.
Did you guys used to watch the He-Man cartoon?
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Of course. I had all the action. I had all the figures.
That was my childhood.
Yeah.
I love that show so much.
Then we see what Kevin Smith did to it. Boy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see what Kevin Smith did to it. What did he do?
In season 2
I'm
coming
kidding.
out. And he's been promoting season 2's coming out this year. I can't wait.
I haven't seen.
Wait for him to start crying over it.
I take it it's not very good.
No.
Even at the time, my former girlfriend's like, honey, this show is freaking awful, and she's
You made your girlfriend watch that show?
Yeah, because even she liked He-Man, because like I have 3 sisters. We all grew up, like I'm sure Vex would know this, that there was a time where action figures and cartoons could be made for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister, as much as I would like, I'd watch My Little Pony or like Sailor Moon. My sisters would watch Transformers and He-Man as well. And even yeah, exactly. And my ex was like, honey, this He-Man show on Netflix is freaking awful. I can't. Where's He-Man? I thought it's called the He-Man show.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, well, that's why they changed it to Masters of the Universe, because they didn't want to honor the actual show. Unfortunately, and I did like Kevin Smith quite a bit, but that was a big mistake. He did not like the show. He didn't understand it. He thought it was corny.
Exactly.
And for people who love the show and understand what it is, we're sort of like, where are the fundamental, ground that this show was built on? Like none of the things that we saw from the original show even appeared in this remake, and it's a shadow of what it was supposed to be. We get all these names of all these characters, but none of the depth or none of the story. So that was a big disappointment. But I'm actually looking forward to part 2 to see what happens.
I think with Kevin Smith, ever since he had that health scare, it's really affected his
He was
writing.
replaced by a clone. Is that what you're trying to say?
I just think it's really affected his writing. Like he's not the same guy. Like it's everything that he's put out afterwards is not even close to what he did in the past.
We even had
we may have something to that.
We had here in Albany. I brought my cousin to see the Jane Silent Bob 2, and he actually played Jane Silent Bob 1 back to back. Boy, go watch part 1, go watch part 2. There's the fucking massive difference in quality. Oh my
So,
god.
what when you say you had a health scare? I'm not up to speed with this. What happened?
He had a heart. He had the one called the Widowmaker.
Yeah, about maybe what 5, maybe more. Maybe it's like maybe 7 years ago he had it, and that's when he decided to turn to veganism, and he lost a lot of weight, and it really seemed to help his situation. And the
I can't wait till that
problem
happens to me.
Just
Oh gosh.
sorry
I come
guys,
back all
Zombie's
skinny
gotta-
and I'm an
Zombie's
asshole.
gotta
I
run.
have to go as well.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
Zombie and
Alright, guys.
Vex going on a
See you,
secret
Vex.
date together. So
It's so good to see you again.
probably
it's
only
great
go,
to see. Yeah,
probably
sorry,
only
go ahead.
going to go for about another half an hour. But I'm having fun, so we'll stay on a bit longer. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you coming on, and thanks for showing the love, and great doing
been great.
collabs. Vex, I'm sure I'm coming on your channel pretty soon. I think.
Tomorrow I'll see you on MMM. Yep.
No, your channel, Vex.
I mean, if you want to read a dirty book, I'm doing a dirty book stream next
Okay.
week. So
I can't wait.
I'll defer to my researchers to Penzo to help me out on that. But yeah, I'm there.
because all it's just going to be ladies, so you can be the one male perspective if you really
Is
want.
this like Lady Japanese lover and that kind of thing?
No, it's a very spicy novel that another YouTuber had recommended to me. I was like, we need to discuss this. So that will be my first stream ever on my channel now.
Can you tell us the title of this very spicy novel?
Haunting Adeline.
Oh. I was expecting something spicier, like
Haunting Saline maybe, or something.
the throbbing shaft or something like that.
Oh, there's a lot of throbbing. Trust me.
That's his hardness manifested itself and all that kind of thing.
Thank you for having me on. Congratulations again on 3,000 Lance. You're gonna hit 5K no problem. Like in the next 6 months, I guarantee. And it was great to interact with everyone on this panel again as well.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Have a great night,
Congratulations, fella.
guys.
You guys
Tom.
take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.
See you, Tommy.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Tommy.
All right, and then there were 7, the Magnificent 7.
Of course.
Yeah, did
love
anybody
Vex.
not? It depends though. You didn't get to do a guilty pleasure mention.
No, I didn't get to talk about my channel either or how I met you. But
Or a
it's
drink
fine.
for
well, let's do all of that now.
No, you just said you don't want me to talk too much. So, I mean, I would take a while. Look, guilty pleasures. I can talk about everything at once because it all ties in.
Jesus
Guilty
Christ.
pleasures. My whole channel is about just watching stupid movies and riffing on them with my cousin and other friends.
I know.
I kind of just started recording them and putting the highlights on YouTube for posterity purposes. But, I
What
don't know.
was
I
what
think
was
they're
the
funny.
first? What was the first? Tell us the first one you did.
Well, we were doing a few in the Discord theater, like that we didn't record. We did Zombie Strippers. We did with Alexis Texas. We did Congo. And then I think it was Step Up Revolution that we watched. And it was like, I got to start recording these, man. And I think the first one we recorded was I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, which is also an excellent guilty pleasure movie. It is exactly what it sounds like. This guy in England is a biker and he buys a motorcycle and it's a vampire. It runs on blood and it goes out at night on its own and kills people and drinks their blood. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've been doing the last year or so. And it's fun. And I plan to keep doing it plus more stuff. And I met, Lance, I think I was streaming on Dark Hours channel. It wasn't MMM, but it was around October when I was doing the Schlocktober stuff. And then you brought me on your thing, Chew the Fat. And I met Tomby and Gary and it's been cool. It's been a good year. Yeah, and as far as like my guilty pleasures, the thing is all these movies these terrible schlocky movies, I don't feel guilty liking them. So like the thing I feel guilty liking sometimes are these Hallmark Lifetime movies, which I've professed my love for many times. I was just recommending, we were talking about Michael Ironside on the Starship Trooper stream and elsewhere, somewhere else on Lance's channel. I was talking about how Michael Ironside is in a Hallmark family.
Which one is it? I want to
movie.
know.
It's called Pumpkin Everything.
What?
And I actually liked it. And it's he plays the curmudgeon-y old dad, and of course there's like his beautiful young daughter who meets a handsome young 30-something or so or whatsoever. They're all the same movies. I love them.
Yeah, pretty
I don't know
much.
why.
Yeah. I love them.
Oh
though.
yeah. Anthony Daniels is in this one. I bought a vampire motorcycle.
Yeah. That's your vampire motorcycle right there. I have to admit, it does look a bit low rent, but
yeah. If you guys want good suggestions of schlocky movies, I think I've ripped over 80 movies this year alone. So
I'm guessing that this girl gets killed by the vampire motorcycle.
No, this is the girlfriend, but she's the one that suspects. She gets on that motorcycle and it drives off without her controlling it or whatever.
Right. What's going on there?
Sorry.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, yeah. There's some pretty weird scenes in this movie. There's a part where I think we lost our minds effectively when oh my God,
Coven. What's going on there?
Yeah, they're biker gangs. You know, when one of your dudes dies, it's like, nah, we're gonna haul him off the parade.
Yeah. Forget about the hearse.
There's a scene in I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle where Dobby is the main character's name, and he takes a number 2, and he gets up, and his leavings is like, it's like a person in a suit, in a turd suit, like talking to him. It's like a weird. His turd talks to him and then jumps in his mouth, and he has to like not eat it. I don't know, guys. There's some really bad movies out there. So take my word for it.
And he's watched them all.
No, not even close.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So, do you have one particular guilty pleasure that you like watching every year?
Rockula.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I love Rockula. It's so hard. This year on October was the first time I actually made it all the way through the movie in one sitting. And I don't think I ever saw him turn into the bat thing. And I was like, what the? I went crazy basically watching Rockula.
You put it on Twitter too. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, the whole movie, like there's a part specifically around it's like the first ballad of the movie, around kind of like the second act. That's where we effectively like got broke. We eventually like our minds broke and we just started laughing hysterically like maniacs. And then from then on there, it was just like the rest of the movie is like a delirium. It's insane. So yeah, Rockula, I recommend it. It's on YouTube. You can also check out our watch of it. It's the whole movie unedited.
Retro, I do remember you shouting out your love for that movie on your channel.
You do love it, man. That's great. I don't ever meet Rockula fans in the real world.
Yeah.
They do. There you go. They do exist. They do exist. So Jacob and Andrew, when you guys came in, because we were kind of in mid-flow talking about Italian movies or whatever, I didn't let you guys. I've always let my guests say what their channel's about for about a minute. So Jacob, do you wanna jump in? Tell us about your channel. You got 60 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I basically just do reviews of old movies, a lot of black and white movies, but I have done some from the 90s, 80s, 70s. So basically anything before 2016, I won't do.
Right.
And that's about it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of good movies before that time. Less to choose from later on. So I think is fair. Andrew, what about you? Are you sleeping, Andrew? Actually, Andrew, come in. Are you at bathroom break? Okay, well, I'll come back to him. He is. He actually is in the bathroom. It's funny, Andrew. It's funny that you should say that because I just had that vampire bicycle trailer playing on the IMDb link, which, by the way, I put it up for you guys. You want to see it? And this image came up, and I'm like, "What's this?" It's a talking turd.
Oh my God!
In the movie, I was thinking, like, damn, man. So I still feel like I need to watch this film despite that image. It's a British film.
Dude, I highly recommend it. Like I said, check it out on my channel. You get the full thing, plus me and my stupid cousin farting in the mic.
Oh, good dear me.
Out of our mouths.
Sure. Yeah.
So what have people got planned? Let's forget about our YouTube channels for the moment. What have people got planned? Don't want to say New Year's resolutions, but just kind of goals for 2024. Gooch, want to jump in?
Oh, Well, I'm just writing my script for my new comic that I'm putting out. Hopefully in I want to say 2025 because I want to take the full year to really flush it out and make it a well-written comic. I have a great idea, so I'm going to be working on that.
I wish you hadn't said flush it out after we'd seen that image, but yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to continue doing. I know we're not going to talk about channel, but just continue, supporting everyone here and going on channels and creating my channels and stuff like that. I'm excited. I like. My girlfriend's actually said to me, like, I've never seen you so happy. Like, you're actually, a lot happier these days. And I think this has really helped me, personally. So,
yeah, I can. I mean, listen, I can vouch for that because before I used to just stay up late on my own, mulling over everything that happened in the last 3 years and how could it have all gone so wrong. Now I get to do that with other people online, so it's
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friends here, but like, I mean, a lot of them have kids, and my kids are all grown up, and I don't know. I love talking about movies and comics and series, like the recommendations, and get into these friendly debates and not take it personal. That's the big thing. I mean, I got called the gooch, so I mean, I laugh at it. I think it's hilarious. I'm really, really enjoying meeting everyone and talking about the stuff that we love. I just cherishing every moment of it. So,
Blue Collar, aside from your plans to drink yourself into,
it's almost gone, but yeah,
dude, I'm concerned about your alcohol consumption, man.
That's my superpower.
Okay, all right, good. Well, just but not before driving, please. So,
not.
what other plans do you have outside of YouTube?
Oh, outside YouTube? I mean, yeah, it's definitely, well, between editing videos and driving, you do spend more time sitting on your butt than I'm used to. So I've been hitting the gym a lot harder than I was for 2023, but we've all been there. Sometimes I'm telling myself, I want to get this Reacher video out or this laser review out, and like, I'll forego the gym. And I'm trying to balance where it's like, I love my videos, but I want to go back to doing pull-ups and deadlifts and stuff. So trying to drop more.
You lasted even less time than Gooch before you mentioned YouTube again, but okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, being on YouTube, everyone here knows this, that people, they always see a 5-minute video, and of course I see 6 hours of my life gone.
Right.
So that's, like I said, with Reacher, people may see a 45-minute video. I see 6.5 hours I spent sitting down. So I'm trying to balance out, like, getting up, walking around, jogging and stuff, because it is, and everybody here is getting older. Everyone knows that I'm not 17 anymore. Having a metabolism in your 40s is different, where I have to get out there and actually be active. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just in terms of outside YouTube, just dropping some more weight. I mean, I'm already a dad. My kid is in the other room having fun, but like everything, I would say with Gooch and you, Lance, that this is, even to Enzo, coming on here is like my version of therapy. I can't afford therapy. So hanging out with you guys, getting drunk, watching stupid movies, playing video games. I've had my own personal drama as much as Lance has in a different situation, but like everybody here has their own personal drama. So what I do is I drink and I hang out with friends and laugh and just watch stupid movies, play video games. And it's this for me is like, YouTube is not my job, it's my therapy. And I love doing it.
No, that's a good
nice.
dude.
Yeah.
Great answer. Stupenzo. Mr. Shades.
I guess mine wasn't very good. Sorry.
Yours was fine, man. There's no right or wrong answer. It's not a. We're not. Sorry, did I explain? It's not.
I won.
You beat me.
For 5 points. What are you doing for 2024?
Same thing I do every year. I got some shows coming up. I got to play. My bass player owns a bar, a couple bars now in San Marcos, Texas. So we're going to be playing at one of his new establishments. He's had some pretty big bands play there already. I also got a music festival coming up in April. We're going to go party under the total eclipse of the sun, man. It's going to be pretty cool. And then I also just doing the graphic design stuff, making band posters, making a bunch of thumbnails for some of you fine people. Do that for free. I cut that grass for free. I like doing it so much. And yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to work on a graphic novel, a vampire book, but I'm trying to take my time. I want to build my, followings on socials and such. But yeah, it's one of these things where I'm not in a rush either. So I'm just having fun doing work, just doing the grind, just grinding. I got a few other gigs later this year. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I got a wedding to go to at the end of the month. My keyboard player is getting the other half of Fecal Pickles getting hitched at the end of this month. So that's exciting.
Sorry, did you say the name of the band is called Fecal Pickle?
Yes, you did.
Yes. It's
Okay.
me and a piano
Genius.
player doing drunk lounge piano tunes at like music festivals at 2 a.m. without permission. We're gonna play by the porta potties and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not the band that I'm going to be playing with. I play the drums, That's usually what I don't get paid to do Fecal Pickle shows, just like karaoke. And now, yeah, I'll probably be doing a little, not as much karaoke as I've been doing the past 3 years, but still hit up the karaoke bars. I also might just do some drunken karaoke videos again. That was fun.
Like your Blue Eye Samurai video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I whipped that up in like 30 minutes. I was like, oh, nice.
Enzo was so talented. Yeah.
The reverb thing seemed to work quite well.
I was
Andrew,
testing
you're-
out the reverb plugin. I recommend getting one.
I am back from the bathroom. I'm sorry. I just had to
That's
go.
all right, dude.
When
No,
duty
no-
calls.
Yeah.
In terms of
Tell
YouTube,
us about your channel quickly.
yeah.
Because you didn't get to do your plug when you came on.
I do movie breakdown stuff like that. I did Ahsoka last year. That was the biggest thing I did.
Nice.
And then currently working on a script for a Rebel Moon breakdown, and I've gone on a tangent about farming. I don't know why. I don't know how I got here, but I am there now.
I can see why you would go on that tangent, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's going into a tunnel of insanity. But other than that, I'm doing a stream tonight, 7:00, ranking all of the movies of 2023. And then Stupenzo and Diabolical Souls will be there with me, and a couple more guests. So, yeah.
What's your top choice for 2023?
Oh, my top choice?
Yeah, what was your number one film?
Man,
for the year?
there were a
Godzilla
lot.
-1.
Godzilla -1 was I actually haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't either.
It wasn't playing near me, so I'd say probably Oppenheimer was really good. Spider-Verse, I really enjoyed Spider-Verse. There were a couple not I'd say great films, but like ones that I really enjoyed, like the D&D movie I had fun with. No Hard Feelings. I thought that was a cute, nice movie.
I laughed.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
other than that, I can't really say any other ones. There was the Mutant Mayhem, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That was all right. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Andrew, is your channel actually Andrew? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
So
Yeah, so up to you. Got you, dude.
talk to us about how you came to star in Big Mouth.
Oh, big. Well, just the look of the draw, I guess. I don't know.
Listen, I've got to do a stream on this show at some point. So in case anyone's wondering what Andrew
Oh my
looks
god.
now he's like, that is not a compliment. What?
That's Andrew from Big Mouth, who for some reason every time I see your profile, that's what's in my head.
You do not look like that.
I think you need to do a version of him with can you do a version of him with the beams coming out?
I'll have that just in the background.
Yeah. No, but does anyone watch Big Mouth, the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I didn't like the controversy with the last season with the whole
first season. That's it.
Well, the whole actresses have to be exactly like their characters. Where an actress has
yeah,
that doesn't it didn't change the quality of the show, but that's getting so annoying. I'm tired of that shit. Like the whole Cleveland with Family Guy. It's like, dude, does it really matter? Like
a poo.
Well, I mean, a voiceover artist it's quite a talent to be able to do different voices and things. And some people, that's
Yeah.
how that's solely how they make their living, including a lot of the cast of the Simpsons. And yeah, it was is it the character of Marcia, who's a black high school kid? I'm trying to remember her name now.
Yeah, it's like because like the actress has to be like she has to be mixed race like the character, so she can't be
Right.
a white girl or a black girl.
So was that? I think I'm still on season 6. So in season 7, is the voice like massively noticeably different or anything? Or I think they said that the voice sounds exactly the same, but it does seem like
yeah, it's a character called Missy.
Missy.
Yeah, she's got braces, and you said she's half white and half black. So you have to have a voice actress who's half white and half black, because the first few seasons it was just a white girl voicing her. So
right. It's a fictional cartoon. I mean,
yeah, I mean, so many black actors have voiced legendary white characters and vice versa. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Anyone else have any thoughts they want to express on that? Not that I want to dive into a social political milieu pond, but good. Okay, good. Well, we'll move on quickly. Stupenzo is up to 308 subs. I gained 7 subs on this stream. I just noticed.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's coming on to 11:30, so I'm going to sort of like start easing into wrapping things up. Just talk a recap of what I've got coming up. So I've set my alarm tomorrow for 11:15 because I normally wake up around 11, go to bed between 4 and 5, which is terrible, but there we are. And so that's the Adrian Tay interview that I talked about earlier. Then we have the Nielsen ratings on Tuesday. Enzo, you're on this Tuesday. You coming on?
Why not?
Okay, I remember that there was one thing you couldn't do, but I think that was yesterday. And Blue Collar, are you coming on Tuesday?
Of course. Like I said, I make my rewatches after your stuff.
Cool. That's my core panel. There's always room for one more. If anybody's at a loose end, let us know. But I try and keep it 4 people only.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't devolve into chaos, and it allows us to talk about the Little House on the Prairie at length. Yeah. So then coming up, I've got something else. Oh yes, actor Tim Bentic. I should be interviewing him on Wednesday, and he's a British character actor who's been around for about 5 decades. Has worked with the likes of Roger Moore and a number of other big names. We met. I'm trying to remember how I got introduced to him now, but he attached to do a TV show I was developing, read a couple of my scripts and was on board pretty quick. So yeah, I was really pleased about that. I am doing a review of the Richard Chamberlain Shogun. I'm still less than halfway through rewatching it. It's very, very slow. But one of the things that's really unusual about that show is that they deliberately decided not to give you any subtitles for the characters that are talking in Japanese. And the reason that they did that was because the director said they wanted the audience to be in the shoes of Richard Chamberlain and therefore not understand what was going on around him. I get that completely, but I find it really frustrating because I actually want to know what they are saying. And you can't get a version of it anywhere with subs on it, even though I know Blue Collar is now frantically looking. So I'm doing a retro review of that, and I'm going to do a review of the new Disney version. I think the new one looks good. I think the trailer's good. So it's got big money behind it. Could be really interesting. So that's what I've got coming up. And retro, I'm not on with you this Friday because I'm at my acting class.
Mhm.
But no doubt I'll be on. Sometimes I'm on Retro's channel once or twice a month on a Friday, and other random people's channels at different times. Just know that you're always all welcome. If I'm doing an industry interview, I tend to do that with just me and a co-host because
makes sense.
Well, yeah, I don't want the guests to feel crowded or intimidated, and really, it's the bottom line is, aside from the fact I want to tell them a funny story connected to a movie they're in or something, I let them do all the talking. So that's how it'll be. But any of the kind of other streams I do, if you see something advertised, because I've got a whole load of watch parties and episodes of Chew the Fat Plan. If it's about a film you're interested in or films you're interested in, just drop me a message, and if there's room, there's room. Come on board. We've got quite a few of those coming up this year planned. Most of them are going to be Saturday evening, 9 o'clock my time, which means I'm almost never going to get retro on, I don't think.
Sorry.
But I'm going to be doing, among other things. So what we're going to do is going to have the film on in the background, but it's not going to be a watch party where we don't talk. We're going to talk all the way through. So I'm going to be doing Invaders from Mars pretty soon, which I really rate. Just so people know, this guy on the left is not in the film, even though, and to make it look like I'm the star of the poster somehow. And then I'm doing some British movies that you guys may not have seen. Going to be doing probably the best British gangster film ever made, and also one of the best in that genre of all time. And that's The Long Good Friday, which launched the career of Bob Hoskins. Very different role from his gumshoe in Roger Rabbit. And I would be particularly interested in having guests on that show who have never seen the film before and will watch it in the week leading up to it, because I do like to hear, especially the American perspective on our British entertainment, as it were. So that's also a best of British thing. I think that's about it, really. So anyone else got anything they want to chuck out before we wrap up?
I would say, well, Tuesdays, everybody here, we're starting to do so many rewatches, and I try to make my schedule not to conflict with everybody else's. Obviously, Dark
it's difficult.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, because Enzo's got tomorrow, you have Tuesday with your Nielsen ratings, so I do my rewatches Tuesday night. I know Gooch does stuff. Cannoli Sasquatch with Sarah Vex, but I can say that there's so much going on that at this point, like every single day, someone's doing a rewatch. So I'm trying my best to not schedule to overlap anybody, and I like the fact that Enzo introduced us to people like Cannoli and Jay. Now I got Andrew on here on my subscription, so there's plenty going on.
I like this comment from Keith E, who Retro and I are a huge fan of yours, Keith.
Yes.
I simply support channels where I feel welcome and feel like I can add to the content. Well, we love you.
Yes.
Coming
Absolutely.
Really do appreciate it. And generally my chat is quite friendly and well behaved, and woe betide anyone who acts any differently. Blue collar, no worries. Happy to give you that plug. Anyone else got anything they want to mention before we put the guillotine down, as it were?
I'll have Bone Bridger on Tuesday evening, and then I think Wednesday we're going to have a review of the comics in 2024 that are coming out. So if anyone wants to jump on for that, you're welcome. And then then February, Andrew and Enzo are here, and again, anyone wants to hop on certain episodes, we're going to be doing Arcane review weekly. So
that's a great great show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have any of you guys seen Attack on Titan?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A little bit. I gave up after a few episodes.
The finale is definitely controversial. We'll say that.
Because I've got the box set of the Blu-ray of I think it's seasons 1 to 3, and I do like it. I like that style and that pan and scan sort of, and I like the world building.
The animation is
but
fantastic.
It is a show. I agree with Stepenzo. It's a show you can get disconnected from quite easily.
As people said, the later seasons, when they start going outside the walls, you have to start changing your suspension of belief. They start getting kind of crazy, but it's the ending. It's interesting. It's worth talking about. I've watched videos talking about the finale.
Right. We're not getting into like Legend of the Overfiend tentacle territory, are we?
No, but it's I like
it.
I like the overall themes about humans and humanity, and it's something that eventually lands if you watched it or with Gooch. It's worth talking about because it makes you think, and I like endings that make you think after you watch it.
Retro, I know you're a bit of a Studio Ghibli fan, aren't you? Retro.
I'm not that versed in it. I haven't gone through my anime era yet, which will come.
I think Attack on Titan would be right up your street. That what I've seen of it so far.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
It's on my list for sure. Yeah, it's on my list. I have a long list of things.
Jacob, Andrew, the men behind the masks. Anything you want to chip in before we
Tuesday night, I'll be going over the movie Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, dude!
Wonderful, wonderful
and
movie.
Then my Saturday show, I'll be talking about the series The Pacific.
Oh,
leading up to the what is it called?
That's a good series.
Masters of the Air.
Yeah, I'm doing a
month.
big stream on the 28th of January. That's 2 days after it airs on the Sunday on Masters of the Air. So, have you noticed my cap?
Oh yeah, nice.
It's one from the set.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to pretend I was on the set. I wasn't. But a friend of mine who was sent it to me in the post, and when it arrived, I was like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, I've got high hopes for that show, and I'm hoping I'm not going to be disappointed. But boy, did they get the casting right! You know, Austin Butler and Barry Keogh are both like super riding high now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good shout. Anyone else?
Well, I did update all my intro and outro and overlay graphics. They're looking pretty slick now, and I did improve my audio. So
Yeah.
I think on these We Watch videos, I think the quality gradually increases. So this
Nice.
year, I think it's going to if like I said in the chat, if you like EFAT movies but with drunk Americans who curse and smoke pot, it's right up your alley.
I need an outro.
I can make one today. I can make
yeah,
what you
yeah.
want.
Dude, I should have told you that at the beginning of the stream. You could have had it ready by the end of the. But yeah, we'll talk about it. But I'd like to give everybody that's been on my channel a shout out under the thanks, and then I also need that special celebration video, Retro, with you doing like a little dance, like the one you.
I can. Well, I'll have to re-edit it and I'll send you something special for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just so people know what that joke is about, is usually when Retro plays one of her thank you videos for people to like giving a super chat or whatever, there's always a music track, and I'm like dancing in the back if I'm on the stream, which I forgot Retro could see me dancing about while I'm thinking I'm off camera. So now she's got one of me actually dancing as a thank you video, which is you have to see it. I think I had quite a lot of prosecco that night. So anyway, okay.
I'm not joking. I kind of dance like Donald Trump. I kind of do the thing he does, you know. Like, weird thing he does. I'm kind of similar to that. It's weird. I do like a variation of the monkey.
Does that go down well?
No.
No, I mean, I'm a drummer, dude. Drummers don't dance. The more I like a music, I'll cross my arms and nod my head. And so, you know, that's
just dance.
You know, yeah,
Gord
that's
King,
how
I know
I
you.
dance.
Gord King, I know you're feeling ill tonight. You wanted to come on, but you couldn't. Very nice compliment. Thank you. You're one of my favorite people I've met on this platform. Bless you.
Yeah,
sir.
I love you, Gord.
I do have one last thing to say before you end the stream. I really am honored that we have become friends and made the connection in the last year. It's been really awesome. You have come in clutch for many situations where I needed a friend, and you're just not only just a great person. I think this channel in particular is not only just good for you, and that I'm noticing how it's helping you, but I'm also noticing that you have got your hands on something that's very important in the zeitgeist of film lovers and people who enjoy movies in general. So you are giving people what they need, which is inside information about how movies are done, and also your interviews are just wonderful. I do see big things for this channel, so I'm wishing you all the luck in the world in getting much more subs in the future, and that is going to be, that's a guarantee. It's like, it's not even a question. So
that's very kind.
That was well said.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Ditto.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're gonna, this is only just the beginning.
All right. Well, I can't think of a better way to end the stream. Darth says he dances like Phil Collins. I'm right there with you, man. Retro.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So just remains for me to say thanks to all the different guests that popped on. I know there was a couple of people that tried to get in, and then by the time we had space, I think they had to be on another stream. Whitey Bear was in the green room at one point, but he was gone by the time I went to let him in. So if you try to get in today and you couldn't make it, don't worry, there'll be a 5,000 subs celebration stream sometime this year, according to my friends.
Next
you
week.
can come on that one. Next week. I don't know if it's next week, because I don't do enough videos to have that kind of growth. But it's been great. It's been really good. And as you can hear, I'm still a bit wheezy, and I'm still on the antibiotics. Got about a week of these delightful babies left to go. So,
yeah.
But at least, you know, when I had an X-ray and all that kind of stuff, that was all clear. So I did have a bit of a worry, bit of a wobble. I thought I was going to be a goner at one point. So it's so bad. Anyway, but you get by with a little help from your friends, to quote John Lennon. All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments. I had a few super chats as well. Thank you very much for all of those. Thanks to all my guests and friends that popped in to wish me well and all the kind words. I'm just going to say what I always say. Don't forget to reach out to the people in your life that you haven't spoken to in a while. Pick up the phone and sort all this texting bullshit. Pick up the phone and actually call them and speak to them in person. I know it's a very old school form of communication, but you know what? Some people like that. And tell the people that you care about that you love them and that they're important to you. And we will see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.